Waving that green light. Waiting for that green light. We are good to go. Hey guys, how you going today? BK Sport. We are live for the Super Saturday action. There's only 2 games today. Usually we would have 3 games, but it is Easter weekend, so happy Easter to everybody out there. But there is 2 games tomorrow, 2 games today. Obviously there was 2 games yesterday, 1 game on Thursday, and 1 game on Monday as well between the Eels and the Tigers. So a long weekend of footy, which is awesome. It does separate a bit, and it's great to watch as we get that Monday game, which means there's only going to be a 2-day break between rugby league this week as well, with Tuesday and Wednesday. That's great. That's fantastic news. And then, no, it's not next week there's Magic Round. The week after is Magic Round. Next week is Anzac Days. So, yeah, we've got a good couple of weeks coming up, man, which I'm really excited for. And, you know, if yesterday is anything to go by, we are in for a crazy season, man. We've seen so many upsets this season. It's just been ridiculous. And yesterday was the real cherry on top to it all, with the Dolphins being down 16-2 to the Melbourne Storm of all teams, and coming back and absolutely smashing them and scoring over 40 points in that game, winning, like, what was it, 42-22 or something ridiculous. Like, that was wild, and it gives you a lot of confidence if you're a team that isn't expected to win games too much, because it just means that there are so many teams right now that can win even against the odds, and the Warriors are going to have to be that team today. The Broncos will be favourites for this game, I would assume. I'm obviously in India, so I can't actually see what the odds are for this, but I would expect that the Broncos would be favourites for it, especially with them being in the top 4. And well, the Warriors aren't too far away from that, but they're coming off a pretty poor one last week, where they just didn't really get a great deal going at all. Who they play again? That was that's right, the Melbourne Storm, 42-14. So it's like, you know, the Dolphins were able to go and whoop them, but last week the Warriors really struggled against Melbourne, and the Storm ran out 42-14 winners. So they're not exactly in the most fantastic performance. They've got a couple of players out, man. So I do struggle to look at the Waz today and say they're going to win. But after yesterday, anything can legitimately happen. So that's what's exciting about the competition this year. But let's get into the 2-team lineups for today, and give my prediction before we get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Obviously, hit that like button and subscribe. We're like 45 subscribers away from 30k now. So I do think we'll probably get there by Monday, which is awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet, buddy, smack it in. Let's get it done. Probably we could try and do it by tomorrow. I think we could genuinely get there by tomorrow with the 2 games as well, with my team playing tomorrow. But all right, let's get into the 2-team lineups. So the Warriors, they come into this game from 6th position. The Broncos come in from 3rd position, and this is at Go Media Stadium in Auckland, Mount Smart. The ins here for the Warriors: Edward Coetzee, Jacob Laban, Tanner Stowers-Smith, and Tamati Martin. With the outs being Justin Klukstad, James Fisher-Harris, Rocco Berry, and Tanner Boyd. So some big outs there with Fisher-Harris and Nickel Klukstad, man. This is going to be a really tough one here for the Waz, even though they are at home. Now, the fullback is Tane Tuolpiki, with the wingers being Edward Coetzee and Adam Pompey. The centres are Kurt Catewell, who used to play for the Broncos, obviously. He's normally a back rower, but he's been pushed into the centres today, and he has played there for Queensland before, actually. He's been shifted into the centres mid-game at some point. So it's not like he doesn't know how to play the centre, but also he's not really a centre, he is a back rower at the end of the day. And then Ali Liatawa is also alongside him. You go to the 5'8", Chanel Harris Tavita, with the halfback being Luke Metcalf. The front row forwards are Jackson Ford and Mitchell Barnett, who is the captain, and then Wade Egan in the hooker. The back row is Lika Halasima with Murata Nyakura as well, and then Aaron Clark, the big fella in the lock. He's been having a great season. You go to the interchange, Bunty R4 and Jacob Laban, Dimitri Vaimalga and Tamati Martin. The 18th man replacement is Tanner Stowers-Smith, and Andrew Webster is the coach. They lose a lot of experience here today. Like, Chance is experienced and Fisher-Harris is experienced, and Rocket Berry is a solid enough player as well. Tanner still hasn't played for the Waz, but look, at the end of the day, this is going to be a really tough one for them. They have lost their big signing of the off-season, which was James Fisher-Harris. Obviously, they lost Adam Fanor-Blake. They got him, and now he's not there, and they're going up against the Broncos forward pack that is really, really solid. It's a great Broncos forward pack. So this is going to be an absolute tough one, and you go to their back line, and if they play anything like they did against the Storm last week, it's going to get really ugly. So the Warriors are going to have to really turn up today at home in front of a big crowd, because they do get big crowds nowadays. Maybe in the 2010s it wasn't exactly so fantastic, but the 2020s, the Warriors crowds have really been turning up, which has been awesome to see. Now, for the ins for the Broncos, Dean Mariner and Jordan Ruriki Ricky. The outs are Jack Gosiewski and Martin Tapau. The fullback is Reece Walsh with the wingers Selwyn Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs. Centers are Tony Staggs and Gehima Shibasaki. The 5'8 is Ben Hunt. The 7 is Adam Reynolds, who is the captain, with the props being Patrick Carrigan and Payne Haas, and the number 9 being Billy Walters comes back into the starting team. The back row is Jordan Ricky and Xavier Willison, with the 13 being Kobe Hetherington. The interchange is Corey Pakes, Jaden Hunt, Corey Jensen, and Tyson Smoothie, with the 18th man replacement being Dean Mariner and the coach being Michael Maguire. I do find it quite interesting that they've put Billy Walters into the starting lineup. He's normally the 14, and Corey Pakes is now playing as the 14 when he's got the 9 in his back. I don't really know why Madge decided to switch the hookers there, but, sure, Michael Maguire knows what he's doing. I will put that out there. Jordan Ricky and Xavier Willison. Xavier Willison comes into the back row. They take Jaden Hunt out of the starting lineup and put him onto the bench. So Madge has made a few changes here, but if there's anybody who knows the New Zealand system, it's going to be Madge, because he was the coach of New Zealand over the last couple of years before he then went to New South Wales and then won last year with them. So, look, if anyone's going to know this system, it will be Michael Maguire, right? But I do find it super interesting that they have switched up that 9. Do I think that that's going to adjust their team a drastic amount? Not necessarily. I think that this Broncos team is a solid enough team that will be up there at the top end of the table throughout the season. I do still think that they're quite inconsistent, and we did see last week where the Broncos lost to the Sydney Roosters, who have been incredibly inconsistent this year, beating the Panthers and also beating the Broncos, but they're the only 2 times that the Roosters have won so far this season. So, I'm surprised the Broncos were able to confidently as well get beaten in that game. Like, they were confidently beaten. So considering that they're meant to be one of the big dogs, they really shouldn't be, but that tells you just as much about this season that the underdogs just love getting wins this year, man. It is a completely open competition, especially after yesterday. So I am going to tip the Broncos, but I'm just so scared to tip a favourite nowadays, man. I really am. I'm terrified. Like, I'm quivering I'm shaking and quivering in my boots, man. Every single underdog just seems to be getting up, except for maybe the Rabbitohs yesterday, who weren't the favourites. But on Thursday, what was the Thursday game? I think there was an upset on Thursday, wasn't there? It was the Dragons, Manly. Yeah, Dragons were the underdogs. And then if we go back to last week and have a look at favouritism and underdogs, Dolphins beating the Panthers. Dolphins were the underdogs. Dragons were the favourites over the Titans. Roosters were the underdogs against the Broncos when they won. Sharks were the favourites, to be fair, over Manly. The Cowboys were underdogs against the Rabbitohs. The Raiders, I believe, were the favourites against the Eels. So was the Storm over the Warriors. And then I don't know about the Tigers and Knights, but the point is that it's just so mixed, man. So I will take the Bronx, man, but I'm just not going to give a 13 plus or a 1 or 12er, even though based off of the outs here for the Warriors, you would kind of assume the Broncos should be winning this 13 plus. You would assume it based off of losing Fisher Harris, losing Chance Nickel-Klukstad, losing Rocker Berry. If they win, this is a great win for New Zealand. If they can find a way to get up, it is a phenomenal win for them. So take that for what it is, but for the time being, I will take the Broncos before the game starts. Now, in regards to the ladder, we're obviously 6.5 rounds in now. So it's still not too serious in regards to the ladder, but you're getting a really good read and idea for what teams are like. The Broncos are in 3rd position on 8 points. They have the top of the pile for the 8-pointers, which is the Cowboys, the Rabbitohs, the Warriors, the Dragons, the Raiders, and the Broncos, meaning the Broncos have the best points differential. They have a plus 56. Now, the Dolphins actually helped them out quite a bit yesterday because the Storm were at plus 90. Now they're at plus 70. So if the Broncos win this game, and they win by 14 points or more, the Broncos will go above the Storm into 2nd position, which is a crazy thought process because you never would have thought that going into the Dolphins game yesterday, but it happens. So the Broncos, they win by 14 plus, they will go into 2nd place above the Storm for the weekend. If they lose this game, the Raiders will take on the Titans tomorrow. The Raiders obviously will be the favourites for that and then can go above the Broncos with a win. The Dragons cannot. The Broncos would have to lose by 36 points or more to go below the Dragons. The Dragons play the Roosters next week. They already played on Thursday against Manly and won, but they would have to lose by 36 points or more because the Dragons are at plus 20 whilst the Broncos are at plus 56. And the Warriors obviously would immediately go above the Broncos with a win because they're both on 8 points. The Warriors' points differential is awful though. Minus 20 for a top 6 team is not great to be looking at. So they would want to try and, encourage a bit of a change in the points differential, but the Broncos aren't necessarily the team you target for that. Just get the 2 points basically is what you'd be thinking about in a matchup like this. But if the Warriors were to win, they would go above the Bronx, and then the Rabbitohs as well, they have already already played. They play the Storm next week, so they've got a minus 36. The Broncos would have to lose by over 80 points to go below the Rabbitohs, so that's not happening. So realistically speaking, if the Broncos were to lose... Oh, actually, I do need to mention, the Tigers are within range too. Points differential... for everybody else down there, probably not so much. Maybe the Sharks, but the Tigers are 2 points below. They're on 6 with a plus 28, and they play the Eels on Monday. If, say, the Broncos lost this game by 10 points, right, they go down to plus 46. The Tigers are on plus 28, so if the Tigers were able to go and beat the Eels by 20 points, they actually could go above the Bronx as well. The Sharks are on plus 21. They play the Knights. I guess the same thing applies to them if they won by like 20 or whatever against Newcastle, so... The Broncos, there is actually a chance they could go down to like 6, 7, even potentially around that 8 area. But it's not, I don't think that the result, if the Warriors were to win, would be such a drastic one where the Broncos would lose their points differential and then you would see those like Sharks and Tigers being able to jump them, right? So I think the Broncos will probably be safe around that 6-5 area, but crazy things can happen. The Warriors, on the other hand, they're on 8 points. They're in 6th position with a minus 20. If they win this game, they would go to equal second alongside the Storm. Now, their points differential is so poor that they couldn't go above the Storm. The Storm have plus 70. The Warriors have minus 20. So they would be going into third. The Raiders could still go back above them, but that's about it. That is actually quite literally it. The Raiders would beat, if they beat the Titans, they would then go back above the Waz. So realistically speaking, the Warriors would finish either in third or fourth by the end of the round if they win this game. If they lose, however, the Rabbitohs, they, like I said, they've already played, so the Warriors would have to lose by 16 to go below the Rabbitohs, and the Cowboys, they've got a minus 42. They have the bye, so the Warriors would have to lose by 22 or more to go below the Cows into 8th position. And then you've also got the Tigers. If they win their game, they're plus 28. They would go above the Waz just immediately on points differential. Dolphins already played. The Sharks, if they would win their game, would also immediately go above the Warriors on points differential. And the Titans are on minus 26. The Warriors are on minus 20. So if the Warriors were to lose by 6 and then the Titans win by anything, the Titans would also... oh, no. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Titans would jump above them. Even technically, the Knights could jump above them. So the Warriors could go all the way from 6th down to like 11th. They could drop off quite significantly here because of their points differential, depending on how much they were to lose this game by today. So that's basically the little bit of analysis going into this game here today. Warriors do have a bit to play for, but it's going to be a tough one with a couple of their most experienced players out. Obviously, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. The game is about to start. The Broncos are about to come out into the field, and then obviously the Waz will be... right after that. But all right, let's move this across here. Let's look at the chat and let's get amongst it. Also, I haven't said this, but I'm actually going to be jumping on Real Fan Sports channel today for an IPL game. So we're obviously doing this game and we're doing the Roosters and the Panthers game. And then later on tonight, because obviously I'm in India, I'm actually doing an IPL game on another channel. So it'll be interesting. I've actually never watched an IPL game before. I'm going to a Mumbai Indians game next week, but I've never actually watched before. So that'll be an interesting little stream there over there with Zach and Nom for the Real Fan Sports. Olivia Reid, oh, she slapped it in early. She slapped it in early. $8 donations. There's another day and another dono. Win in my hometown would be amazing. Yeah, well, good luck. It'd be actually interesting as well. Next week, I believe the Waz actually playing Christchurch on Anzac Day, isn't it? I don't think they're playing in Auckland. I think they're playing the Newcastle Knights, if I'm not mistaken, next week. And usually they're playing Auckland. No, they are. They're playing at Apollo Project Stadium in Christchurch against the Knights next week, which is interesting. Usually they would play in Auckland. I was there last year for Anzac Day, so it's interesting that they're switching that up next week. But yeah, this is going to be a tough game. But you're a Broncos fan. You're a bloody Broncos fan. You know? Gee whiz, I tell you what. But thank you very much for your donation, Olivia. Thank you very much. Nate says, Olivia, good old play school. Oh no, what's Olivia said? Are we in play school? What shape window is everyone choosing today? Gee whiz, you know, this is the first thing. You just start insulting the windows. They're beautiful windows, actually. They're beautiful windows. I love them. I love them. I'm in Udaipur right now, and I love the way this room is set up and whatnot. Nate Jason, I'm back in the Waz 13 plus. I genuinely think the Waz will belt them. Nate, tell me why. What? Nate, come on. What? You're backing the Waz 13 plus genuinely. You're genuinely backing the Waz 13 plus. Okay, I will grant it based off of an upset that the Warriors can win this game. But where are we going with the 13 plus here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Olivia says, Big X starting woo. Oh, there's an alarm going off here. Let's stop that alarm going off. Big X starting woo. Doug would not be happy about Billy Walters, but hopefully his performance will prove us wrong. He's been awesome off the bench recently. Yeah, I'm just surprised that they make that switch. Why? Why is Corey Pakes come onto the bench and Billy Walters starting? I think that it has been a pretty good rotation so far. I really do. Happy Saturday to you. I'm back in the Wires to win 1 on 12. Geez, a lot of people back in the Wires here. Okay, interesting. It is interesting. It is interesting how many people are back in the Wires. Adam Smart says, were you at Jay? Where you at, Jay? Please don't tell me we got Skunk today. Jay's always here, mate. Jay's always here. He's firing up. And Skunk will be here at some point. Ben says, this doesn't have the Panthers 21, 22, 23 vibe. Anyone can beat anyone. Yeah, well, we saw a couple of times last year that like the Panthers weren't guaranteed at the start, and then they really got a good chug along kind of around this point, really. But it was a lot more obvious that the Panthers would win over the last 3 years than, say, this year, where, you know, you're probably leaning towards the Dogs right now, but they're still a little bit unproven when it comes to the crunch. The Storm have been a bit shaky. The Broncos have been shaky. Everyone's been shaky. So, you know, yeah, there's no guarantee for anything right now. And that's why it's such an enjoyable season, because we could see a Wires upset here today, and it wouldn't be a crazy surprise. But the Broncos would have a lot of questions to ask themselves if they were to lose this. But the first hit of the game, and Reece Walsh gets absolutely crunched. He still hasn't had a good game so far this season. Second tackle with the Broncos at the 22. Lagan Balzac says, are we just going to ignore that there is nothing that can be done to change the fact that the Dogs will remain first at the end of the week? But there was nothing that could have been done. Well, I guess there could have been if the Dogs had lost and the Storm had won, but yeah, sure. Well, there's actually nothing that can be done for the Dogs to be top of the table next week, too. They could lose next week and still be first place. So I'd be jumping ahead there, to be fair. Scott Wood says, Dogs 4 in front after 7 rounds. First team since Raiders 2003, I believe. Yeah, no, it's good. Good start. Fifth tackle now for the Broncos at the 50, and Adam Reynolds will put that one down to Tane 12 Picky, who grabs the ball at the 5. The ex-Gold Coast Titans, man, getting through the development system. Get around Tane. Fix the scoreboard. Yeah, thank you, Mr. J. Thank you. I'm just going to change my time zone. Put myself back into the old Brisbane Vegas. Get myself back to the old Brisbane Vegas. There we go. So that's done. And then I will refresh it. But finally, Jay does his job. You know, finally, for the first time in history. For the first time in history, Mr. Jay Hayes has done his job and reminded me to refresh the score. There you go. There you go. It's all done, mate. It's all done. See, I'm always on top of it. Always. 4 tackle lead for the Warriors, and they'll get this ball to the 25. Not a great starting set here from the Warriors by any means. And Barnett will get to the 35, and they'll have to kick it from here. GTDG says, damn, those are some ugly-ass jerseys. I'm not a massive fan of this jersey from the Warriors. It is really light. I'm surprised because they're the home team. This looks like an away jersey. Like, for the Warriors, this does look like a bit of an away jersey here, to be fair. So I'm surprised that... Oh, Reece Walsh is grabbing it. Oh, no, there might be an issue here for Reece Walsh. I hope he's all right. Olivia says, minute silence. Oh, was there? Johnny Boy says, Brisbane 13 plus. You would assume that, but based off of the season so far, man, I don't know. But I'm just interested to see what's happening with Reece Walsh here. He's grabbing it like his hamstring, maybe. He's grabbing maybe his hamstring early doors here. It's been literally 2.5 minutes into the game. Who would actually play fullback for the Broncos? Would it be Selwyn Cobbo? Because if Reece Walsh went, usually it would be Tristan Saylor. He obviously isn't there at the club anymore. So who would actually be your backup fullback at the Broncos nowadays, Broncos fans? Jaden's up the Wires 1 to 12, and Warriors will knock the ball on, and it'll be a Broncos attacking set right now, 10 metres out. They've got a chance already. 3 metres away here, first tackle, the knock on from the Warriors, and now the Broncos have got a great opportunity. Short play. Ben Hunt taken down. First tackle, 2 metres away. Gary says, Warriors shirts look like they've been boil washed. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with it. It looks like an away jersey, but they're playing at home. Like they're playing at home. Dasmay says, good afternoon, especially for Fiji and Drua fans who just beat the Waratahs. Yeah, no, good stuff, Daz. We love that. We love that very much so. Happy Easter to all the Waratahs and Fiji and Drua fans out there. Third tackle now here at the 5. And it'll be Billy Walters. Try time under the post. Try time under the post for Billy Walters. So it seems like it worked out, that switcheroo. It seems like that switcheroo did work out. And it is 4-0 here to the Broncos. And Billy Walters will score under the post. There we go. That's Olivia says, I know. Brocky says Payne Haas. Payne Haas plays fullback, does he, Brocky? So we're going to put Payne Haas into the fullback for replacement of Reece Walsh. Wow, that's an interesting switch, Broggy, if that happens. Wow, boy. Really impressive. A couple people have typed try time. Just obviously wait until I commentate it because a lot of people aren't necessarily able to watch the game when they're here. So just wait until I commentate it and then put try time in the chat. Otherwise, it does ruin it for some people who will be utilising the stream. Exactly. Seb just said, can we all wait for the damn call on the stream? Ben says, yikes, I already regret tipping the wires. I just don't know. Well, I would just love to know why people have tipped the wires. Like, what's the reason for it besides the surprise factor? Like, what is the reason for it besides the upset factor? Because it just doesn't really make a great deal of sense to me. Yeah, sure, they're at home. Their home record over the last couple of years isn't as good as you would like to believe. And they've lost James Fisher-Harris and Chance Nickel-Klukstad and Rocco Berry. They've got a couple of players out, whilst the Broncos, they're in the top fours so far this season. They are much better than they have been last year specifically. And they don't have the same kind of injuries. So I'm just really intrigued to see why people thought or have belief that the Warriors should be tipped in this game besides the upset factor. So I'm not really too sure. But the Broncos will grab this ball now at the 5 minutes into the game. Shiloh says, get comeback Dallin. Yeah, well, like, Dallin's also out as well. Yeah, they don't have Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, which has obviously been most of this season, to be fair. So that's it. They've got no Rocco. They've got no Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. They've got no James Fisher-Harris. They've got no Chance Nickel-Klukstad. Like, it's a tough one here for the Warriors. Kids says, go the Bronx. Otherwise, for me, it's called keeping that faith. Well, you're a Warriors fan, so like it makes sense that Warriors fans will tip the Wars. Like, I'm tipping the Titans tomorrow against the Raiders. Do I have any reason to do that with Jaden Campbell out and a couple players out? No, I don't. But I'm going to tip my team, of course. So it makes sense for Warriors fans to believe that they're going to win. But for the neutral fans of the game, I'm not too sure where the tip for the Warriors comes in. Someone says, because this started later, was trying to watch the AFL, so I've no clue about that game. How can blokes not kick it through the middle post? Well, it's not as easy as just kicking it through the middle of the post, man. So first tackle now for the Warriors at the 10. Brendan says, why is JC out? I'm actually not sure. I only saw it like this morning when I was at breakfast. I saw that JC was out. I think he injured himself in training. Something about, I don't think it's a serious injury or anything, but I think he's injured for this game at the very least. So that's going to be a penalty to the Warriors. They're going to get themselves out of a little bit of trouble here. Billy Walters gives it away. Get around here, Anthony. I'm actually going to quickly turn a fan on. Like, I've got the aircon on, but I want to turn the fan on here. Not anything too crazy. While it's a penalty, I've got time to kind of put it on. Give me 1 second here. And then I'm also going to turn it down a little bit so it's not like a heavy fan. There we go. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Look at that. That's good, it's not serious. I don't think it is. Turn on your OnlyFans. Mate, I've got plenty of OnlyFans. Mate, big OnlyFans kind of guy. Big OnlyFans. So third tackle here for the Warriors, and they're 35 metres away from the Broncos line. They do need to just keep up with this Broncos team. The Broncos, they're a fast-paced offense, man. They are a fast-paced offense. Defensively, they are actually quite good in their own 20. Broncos aren't a bad team in their own 20. Maybe last week they weren't great, but usually they've been able to withhold teams quite frequently this year when they've just had a lot of pressure from like the Cowboys or the Dolphins early doors. All right, so the Warriors on fit tackle. Not a bad kick. It's in a good area. Knocked back. Warriors will score. Mitchell Barnett. Booshka. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not. I think he's going to say knock on, maybe. It is pouring down rain in New Zealand. Yeah, he's trying to say there's a knock on here. So it's going to be a no try they've called. They've called a no try, but we'll see. I think it is probably a knock on. 5 metres away, puts it up, Leah Tower. I would say that they're not going to be able to overturn that, and this will be a knock on. Like, it definitely comes off the Warriors. They're just going to see if it goes flat or if it goes forward. If you guys keep talking about this damn well church window, I'm going to put the curtains across and then there won't be the church window. And that, my friends, will be a knock-on. A knock-on. Johnny Boy says, who do you think got to win the premiership? The Titans, mate. Everyone believes it too. Everyone. Every single human being. Vitor says at the Bronx, let's go. So that will be a no try. They do call knock on, and it'll be Broncos ball here at the 10. Hey, at least it showed that the Warriors can get over the line. Illegally, but, at least it showed that the Warriors can put themselves into a position to potentially score. Okay, then that'll do it, Ben. That will do it. Thanks, mate. You've ruined it for everyone. Everyone can, if you like the church windows, you can now blame Mr. Ben Fricker for me doing this because I literally just said let's move on from that. Let's move on from that, and that's a knock on for the Bronx. That's a knock on from Paddy Carrigan. So Warriors will get an attacking opportunity. Yeah, Ben ruined it for all of us. He did, Jay. Yeah, no, he did. No, he did. Yep. That's a knock on there from Paddy Carrigan. So the Warriors now will get another attacking opportunity. God got some. It's funny, right? Because this is actually just. So I'm in a hostel, but I'm in like the private room of the hostel. So it's actually not too bad. It's a really good, mate. Udaipur is beautiful. This place is amazing. I just wish they wouldn't throw rubbish into the lake, but unfortunately, that's kind of just India, man. Unfortunately, but it is such an amazing city in regards to its aesthetic views. Ben says it's heavy rain. It's heavy rain there. Yes. Second tackle now for the Warriors. They're 35 meters away from the line. Is it like that movie Hostel? Not like that movie Hostel, mate. Not like that. I've got a good friend, Best Sport 2.0, who suggested me to watch the movie Hostel before traveling, and it's like this is my first Hostel I've stayed in here. But Warriors 10 meters away from the line. But I'm never going to watch that. I'm not into scary movies. Never have been, never will be. That's a knock on from the Broncos. It's going to be 6 again for the Warriors, about 13 metres away here from the Broncos line. So I'll get another chance again. 10 minutes in, 30 minutes to go the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Now, I've never been a fan of scary movies. The world is scary enough as it is, mate. So that's why I've never really kind of gotten into horrors and scary movies. So first tackle now for the Warriors, 10 metres away. Adam Smart says, yeah, Ben, Auckland getting hit by slow-moving tropical cyclone Tam. Well, there you go. Yeah, it is pouring down rain. 6 again for the Warriors. They're 5 metres away. Mitchell Barnett with the ball. This would be great to see the Warriors get across the line here. Wade Egan, short ball. 1 metre away for Jackson Ford. Yeah, no, I know Hostel's based on a true story. Yeah, no, I know. That's why I definitely don't want to watch it. Definitely don't. Warriors, fight! Oh, taken down is Channel Harris Tavita. And 6 again for inside the 10 against the Broncos. So the Warriors at the 10, they're getting plenty of attacking chances here. But this is what the Broncos do, man. They did this against the Cowboys. They did this against the Dolphins. The first 20 minutes of the game, those teams pumped their line, but the Broncos kept holding out, and then the Broncos scored and then kind of went away with it a little bit. It wasn't like a blowout in those 2 games, but the Broncos were able to withstand this pressure. Is that another 6 again? Yep, that's going to be another 6 again here to the Warriors. Now it's going to be it's a penalty to the Warriors now. It's a penalty. Especially when you realise that Men in Black is a documentary. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for that really intriguing piece of information. All right, so first tackle again for the Warriors. How many times have we said that in the last 3 minutes? First tackle, Wade Egan. He'll get it across to Jackson Ford. He's 4 metres away. How many 6 against before a bin? Probably 1 more for a warning, and then after that, obviously, there will be. And Tuolpiki, 10 metres away on third tackle. Again, this is what the Broncos do, though. They usually do hold out here. Their on-the-line defense has actually been pretty solid at the beginning of games. Fourth tackle, 9 metres away from the line. Warriors aren't showing a great deal of attack at the moment. It's not fantastic. Now they spread it. They're still going. And Leotawa is going to be 2 metres away for tackle. Their attack just has not been spectacular. They're getting plenty of sets. And that kick is weird. And that's a knock on there from the Broncos. So they're going to get another attacking set here, the Warriors. They're going to get another attacking set. A knock on comes from, I think, Ben Hunt. So the Warriors will be 10 metres out. But their attack has been pretty poor. What are these Warriors jerseys? Yeah, we were talking about it before. I think they look like away jerseys, dude. And Warriors usually come up with some pretty good jerseys. Why is Ben Hunt there, by the way, not Reece Walsh? Kind of need the Broncos to win this one. As a Dragons fan? I guess. It's like, we're 6.5 rounds in, man, so I wouldn't really be focusing too heavy on the ladder, but I guess I understand why you're saying that. But then again, if you think that you're a good team, then surely you'd want the Broncos who are above you to lose points, so that, because you've got a better points differential than the Dragons too, than the Warriors too, don't you? Yeah, you got plus 20, they got minus 20, so why would you care? If you think you're a good team, then you should actually want the Broncos to lose. And 6 again for the Warriors, 3 metres out. Oh my gosh. Wade Egan out to the left. And they'll be taking down 2 metres away. Second tackle. Second tackle. They go out to the right side. Vita, share the game. Won't you get a job? You know that it's illegal to share the game, so please just enjoy while you sit here. Third tackle at 15. You're very well aware that the broadcast restrictions doesn't allow me to show the game live, so please get a job. Third tackle now, and the Warriors will be 5 metres away. Fourth tackle. Okay, time Vita out. He's an idiot. Fourth tackle now. It's not really the rocket science. Mitchell Barnett! Oh, he's 1 metre away from the line. 1 metre away. Lucas is typical Warriors attack. Not great! Oh, and they've knocked it on. Mate, how many sets did they get on the line there? How many sets did they get on the line? They knock it on just now. Like, well done to the Warriors, to the Broncos. And again, they've been doing this all season. Like, they've been doing this all season. This is not a surprise. Adam Smart says, need Boyd out there to steer the ship. CHT needs to be 14. See, this is my problem, man. I said this at the end of last year, and a few Warriors fans criticised me for it when I said the Warriors are going through a rebuild stage right now, and they still don't really have guaranteed halves to kind of get them through. And I got a lot of Warriors fans saying, well, they've got Harris Tavita, and this was before Tanner Boyd signed. And Tanner's a good friend of mine, but it's not like he's a guarantee either. But they got Harris Tavita, they got Tamati Martin, and they got Luke Metcalf. And I got told, oh no, the Warriors are going to be really good. Like, that's a great halves pairing. And I'm thinking, like, no, it's not really. Like, no, it's not. There's a lot of proof to be asked for there, and their attack this year has kind of proven me right. I want to see, leaving from Sean Johnson era into this new halves era, it just hasn't transitioned well, and I didn't see it transitioning well, and that was my biggest concern, and that is why I tipped the Warriors to come second last this year, because I didn't think they'd have the attack. Now, they started off the season relatively well outside of that first game in Vegas, and then the last couple of weeks we've started to see a bit more of where the Warriors are at. Obviously, I don't think they're a bottom 4 team. Maybe they still could be, sure, but I don't think they are. But I just worry about their attack this year, going from Sean Johnson to this new era with Harris Tavita, Tamati Martin, Tanner Boyd, and Luke Metcalf. Who's the guaranteed 7 there? Because Luke Metcalf was more the 6th at Sharks, wasn't he? Luke Metcalf was more of a 6. Now he's a 7. Harris Tavita, wasn't he more of a 7 for Samoa? But yet he's playing 6 here. Or was he the 6 at Samoa? But the fact that we're even questioning this is a problem. So it's going to be... Oh, that's a crusher. This will be a penalty to the Warriors here. This is going to be a penalty to the Warriors here. Has to be. Has to be. Yep. There you go. It's a penalty for the Warriors. He does come over the top of his head. Scott Wood says good pressure from the Warriors. Pressure's great, but you have to be able to put that pressure into points. Gary says, Warriors surely need to come away with some points here. Well, they did not, son. They did not. Sasson says, we're so blunt in attack, we offer nothing at all. I agree, and there is no guaranteed 7, and I think that the Warriors and the Titans aren't exactly too far separate there, because JC is obviously more of a fullback, and AJ Brimson's more of a fullback. So we don't even technically have specific halves similar to the Warriors, and the same issues you can see in the attack with the Titans as well. So 30 metres out now from the line. The Warriors with the ball will be 4 tackle at the 20. So they're back inside the 20. Let's see what they can do with it. Wade Egan off to Harris Tavita. Here's a good play. Here's a good play. And Adam Pompey will be taken down to the 5. You are missing out on a big player and fish, though, in this game. Harris Tavita puts it into the air. Not a bad kick in a good area. Knocked back. It's still Warriors ball. Luke Metcalf kicks it across. Not bad. It's Warriors ball. Knock on. It's knock on. So it'll be Broncos ball at the 10. Jared Farmoni says, CHT was 6 or 7 at the start of his career. Crazy to think CHT is the experienced half between the halves. It's crazy. And this is my issue with the Warriors, man. It is. Shiloh says these useless Warriors. Well, they're giving it a crack, man. Like, as a penalty to the Broncos, 15 out on first tackle. They're giving it a crack, but the issue is that and to take a little bit of pressure off of the Warriors here, the Broncos have done this all year long so far. Like, they have. That's a great kick from Reynolds. He kicks it from about, the 15 on his own side of the field to the 35 on the Warriors side of the field. That's a great kick. To give credit to the Broncos here, they have been doing this in the beginning part of the year. I would not be surprised in the next 5 to 10 minutes, or the next 5 minutes, if the Broncos go up and score straight away. They did that against the Dolphins, and they did that against the Cowboys. So although the Warriors have looked really poor in this first 17 minutes attacking-wise, It's like the Broncos allow you to attack them so they can break your hearts defensively and then score and then really kind of put the pressure on. But the issue with the Broncos is that they don't go on with it. They don't actually just go on with the game and blow it out. They just confidently win by about 8 to 12 points, which is those two Cowboys and Dolphins games. So Ben Hunt out the back to Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds passes it again, and Tony Staggs will be taken back to the 25. Great defense there from Adam Pompey to bring him back. So that's going to be 4 tackle now for the Broncos at the 25. But the Broncos have a big game next week against the Bulldogs, so I just hope that they're not thinking about that game before they think about this game. Because that is a big game at Suncorp Stadium between the Broncos and the Bulldogs next week. We'll prove a lot about both those sides. Payne Haas to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt across. Nearly an intercept. Nearly an intercept, but instead it is going to be a 6 again for the Broncos. That is Edward Kosey who goes for the intercept there. Unfortunately, does knock it on. Robert says, I'm not really worried about the Broncos, though. The Warriors are kind of unpredictable, especially later in the year. You're more worried about the Warriors at the pointy end than the Broncos? I disagree. Why? You think the Warriors are a better team than the Broncos at the pointy end of the year? Based on what? Maybe is this like an individual Dragons thing? Are you talking about like individually against the Dragons? First tackle now for the Broncos. They're 5 away. Off to Paddy Carrigan, then Payne Haas. Payne Haas, big run, big offload as well. Hetherington, 2 meters away, second tackle. And Prasad's Warriors will win. Well, they've got to fix their attack if they're going to win this game. Broncos out to the left, Paddy Carrigan, Adam Reynolds. And they're 5 meters away from the line. Third tackle. Billy Walters. He goes out to the right to Reynolds. Reynolds then to Paddy Carrigan. Paddy Carrigan on to Reece Walsh. Kicks it through. I don't know what he's doing. That was just ridiculous there from Reece Walsh. And it's Warriors ball here at the 3. Adam Smarts' boys 7. Tamati at 6. CHT or Metcalf 14. Either one has to go get a better in lower team. Well, Tanner Boyd's at least a guaranteed 7. Like, he's played a bit of 9. He's played a bit of 6. And he's played quite a bit of 7 as well for the Titans. Look, I don't think that Tan's the answer, but I do think that Tan's a great option to have in the team. But at the very least, Luke Metcalf isn't a guaranteed 7. Chanel Harris-Tavita isn't a guaranteed 7. Probably more of a 7 than Metcalf, to be fair. But then again, he's playing more 6. And then you've also got, like, and there was a comment here, I can't remember who it was from, in them relying on Jet Cleary in the future. Yeah, Scott Woods, they've pinned their hopes on Jet Cleary. I agree with that, and fair enough. Oh, that's a knock-on from the Broncos, Selwyn Cubbo. 20 minutes in here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're so close to 30k. We could get there today. I reckon we'll get there tomorrow more so. But it is 6-0 Bronx, and another knock-on from the Bronx gives the Warriors, guess what? Another attacking opportunity. But pressure is great. You have to be able to put the points on, though. You have to be able to put the points on here. Adam Smart, there's 137 people watching, only 5 likes, shameful chat. Come on, guys. If you refresh the stream, you'll probably see there's more likes. But then again, if you haven't liked it yet, guys, go and hit that like button. But there's probably more than 5 likes, to be fair. Alright, so Warriors, here's your opportunity. Jared says, Tamati Martin need to give guidance to the 2 halves to take some pressure off Egan doing a lot of directing right now. Yeah? The issue with the Warriors directly comes down to the halves for me. I really do, because Aaron Clark's been having a great season. I think the forwards are good. The forwards are good stuff. Second tackle here for the Warriors at the 20. I think the forwards are good stuff. I think the back line still needs a bit of work, but they've got a couple of outs. But I just think that every game, regardless, I'm going to be looking at those halves and questioning the halves. Third tackle here. Oh, they lose that ball. Yep, he's lost the ball. Knock on. Knock on to the Warriors, so Broncos ball at the 15. So Watson says, why is he kicking that? Reece hasn't had a good game all season, to be fair. G. Fighter Patel says, what city up to now? I'm in Udaipur, which is a beautiful city. Beautiful city here in India, bro. Warrior says, Metcalf usually sets up Halasima loading. Hey, well, hopefully, mate. Hopefully. But right now, they're really struggling on the attack. Because look at this. 12 from 15 completed sets for the Warriors. 8 from 9 for the Broncos. So 89% to 80% Broncos' favour completion-wise. But the Warriors have had a lot more ball, but they've done absolutely nothing with the ball in the attacking area. Again, to go back to it, the Broncos do this every single week. But the Warriors should be doing better with all this ball. Because if the Broncos score next despite all of this attacking pressure, then what was the point of the pressure? Second tackle with the Broncos at the 25. Someone says, genuinely, what is the future for Cobbo? All the hype of him, I feel, just gets wasted either way. Him being on the wing, not saying he's bad there, and don't see Walsh get up the 1 jersey. Well, Cobbo's not a 1. 4 tackler at the 35. I did hear there was a rumour that he was going somewhere else in the upcoming off season. I don't know if that happens. I know Cobbo wants to be the 1, but he's not really kind of lit up the world when he is the 1 of the Broncos when Reese is out. Reynolds, good offload there. Paddy Carrigan kicks it on 5th. Paddy Carrigan wakes into the air. It wasn't a bad kick in the end, but it will come to Taintor Picky at the 15. It was actually an awful kick. With Selwyn, he was fullback at Wynnum Manly and was great, and he was like the next Greg Inglis. But then again, you hear that all the time with every single player. Second tackle for the Warriors at the 35 on their own side of the field. He was like the next Greg Inglis, which you hear everyone's always saying the next whoever for every play coming through the ranks. And he was really good, but unfortunately for him, he just didn't have the opportunity to become that fullback because they did have Reece Walsh and they did have, other players that could be there. And Herbie Farmworth actually left the Broncos to go to the Dolphins to play fullback, but Hamiso was there because they brought Hamiso down from the Cowboys. So a lot of players want to play fullback, but there's only one fullback in the team, right? It's funny how many players want to play fullback but just can't, and then I just don't even think Selwyn really is a fullback anymore. I think he has to go on the centre/wing. Reece Walsh will grab the ball here at the 20 on his own side of the field. Giovanni says, not living up to that last name, Adam. Oh. So I don't know someone. I think he's going to stand the centre/wing because what team needs a fullback right now, and specifically what team needs a fullback like Selwyn Cobbo? That's my question. Because, look, the Sharks could look at a different fullback. Kennedy had a good game against the Manly Seagulls last week, but knock on from the Broncos, Warriors Bull. Knock on from the Broncos. Good tackle there from Mitchell Barnett and Wade Egan, and the Warriors will get the ball at the 45. And you will see some knock-ons today because it is a wet and rainy day in Auckland. Because if you look at teams that need fullbacks, the Cowboys don't, the Titans don't, the Broncos don't, the Dolphins definitely don't. The Warriors, I guess you could look at and say, yeah, sure, they do. But then again, Taintor Picky's nice. But then again, Chancellor Clockside is leaving at the end of the season, apparently the Super League or whatever. So the Warriors are a shout. Maybe Cobbo's a chance there, but I don't know if that's the type of guy they'd want as their fullback. I'd rather Taintor Picky, to be fair. The Storm definitely don't. The Raiders, they don't. They've got multiple there. The Eels potentially. Manly could look towards it if you don't believe in Lehigh Pawade or Tolutau Koala, because obviously Tom Topojevich is injured quite frequently. So I just don't think Selwyn Cobbo is a great fit as a fullback kind of anywhere, but I don't know. It's not really my kind of player. Second tackle here at the 25 of the Warriors. Waiting to see SJ somewhere in the crowd wearing that Broncos jersey. Oh, does he have to wear the Broncos jersey to this game? That's brutal. That is brutal. So third tackle now for the Warriors off to Channel Harris to Vida, and then Barnett will be 10 metres away on 4 tackle. Warriors, you've been down here a lot, man. You've got to put a score on. You've been down here a lot. And Jackson Ford looking for a hole, can't do it. 8 metres away from the line. Fit tackle for the Warriors. Wade Egan off to Aaron Clark. Ez to Luke Metcalf. He kicks it through. There's a slip over. This might be 6 again. No, it's going to be Broncos ball. It touches the Broncos, but it goes backwards, I'd assume, or doesn't touch the hands. And Broncos get the ball, and second tackle here at the 30. That's a great run there from Tony Staggs. Great run. And penalty as well. That's a huge run from Tony Staggs. They really needed a run like that. Massive run from Gatoni. Gets the ball to the 35, and then gets a penalty as well. That's huge. Jared Farmoni says, maybe the Waz should take some advice from the Dolphins on how to beat the Storm. Okay, well, let's not go ahead and say that the Dolphins are the greatest team in history based off of the the one game yesterday, but it was a great result for them. It was a fantastic result. You definitely can't hate on how the Dolphins performed in that one and turned that one around from a 16-2 deficit to one of the best teams of all time in the Storm. They're always up the top of the table, but the Storm are looking shaky. And I will say, in regards to Munster, that's an obstruction. That's a penalty. There may be a penalty. So the Broncos are going to score. It's Xavier Willison, but they're going to come back and say no try. It'll be an obstruction. It'll be an obstruction here, unfortunately, for the Broncos. So it'll be a penalty to the Waz. This, I will guarantee you, will be an obstruction. So Adam Reynolds gives it to Ben Hunt. Paddy Carrigan into the line. Stops there. Stops in the line. He comes through the gap. That's a penalty to the Warriors. So that will be a no try to the Broncos. Warriors will get a penalty at their 30. So, yeah, I will say, I think that Munster has actually been out of form for a few years now. So there's the no try. I think that Munster has been not as good as people say for a few years now, including me. I think that we're looking at his previous years, like the early 2020s when he did a great job for Queensland and also won the comp in 2020. I think that people look at his form from then and don't realise that he's actually a shell of the player he once was. Munster's struggling, man. Dasmate says, how is my KO stream behind yours while being on a YouTube delay and in another country? That is correct. Yeah, you guys are about maybe 6-7 seconds behind me, and then I don't know how you're behind me on the KO. Like, I'm in central India, you're in Australia in Sydney, and yet you're behind me. That's crazy to me, bro. But Jay is right. It's because you don't have church windows, Daz. Third tackle here at the 30 for the Warriors. Scott Wood says, Cobbo's like Latrell, too big to cover a lot of ground for 9 minutes. Yeah, Cobbo was compared with Latrell quite a lot, because Latrell was compared significantly with Greg Inglis in the early part of his career too. Fourth tackle now for the Warriors at the 20. Gives it off to Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark to Luke Metcalf. Luke Metcalf, short play. Oh, it's a knock on. Knock on from the Warriors. Lika Halasima, unfortunately. It was a tough one to grab, but a knock on there from the Warriors, and Broncos will get the ball. Just to remind everyone, it is raining heavily there, so you will see quite a few knock-ons today, and you won't see a high-scoring game in wet weather conditions like this. It was a ballsy call there from Luke Metcalf, though. Like, the Broncos were up in defense, and there was a really quick, fast-paced pass in a short play whilst it's raining. So a lot of the time, you will see the knock-on, and that's what happened. Is it me, or does Munster get frustrated with things easy these days? Oh, you could see that Munster was salty yesterday against the Dolphins. You could really see that Munster was getting severely impacted by what was happening in that Dolphins game. And that's why there was a little bit of a slight biffo at the back end of the game. Second tackle now for the Broncos at the 25. Dasman says, I agree Munster hasn't been the same since Smith left. Well, no, I would say because Smith left in 2020. I think 2021 Munster was still good, but then I think maybe injuries have kind of hurt him a little bit. Oh, okay, they're going to kick that ball on third tackle, and it's actually going to be a really good kick there from Ben Hunt, where Tane Tuapiki grabs the ball in his own 4, and will try and step around Ben Hunt, but that's a great tackle from Ben Hunt, and that's fine there from the Broncos. That'll be a dropout. Oh, no, they've called penalty. Why, though? I don't agree with that. Ben Hunt has made the tackle, but the two Broncos players, while he's still moving, have come in to force him back in. It's not like they picked him up and then dragged him back in. The wet weather has impacted this, and I don't believe this should have been a penalty. I don't think this should be a penalty to the Warriors. Tane Tuapiki tries to get around. Ben Hunt takes him there, and then the two Broncos players come in over the top. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think that's the wrong call by the ref, but whatever, it's a penalty to the Warriors. Someone says, legit had to pause Blazers' stream for an additional 7 seconds to get in sync. Gee, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm in India. How was my stream ahead of yours? So the Warriors now will get this ball to the 35. First tackle. The Broncos fans should be pretty confident considering they haven't conceded, considering all the ball. Good offload there from Aaron Clark off to Wade Egan. And Bunty Afoa will get smashed in a tackle back to the 44 by Xavier Willison. Jared Farmoni says, Munster preparing for a WWE run with that head scissors on Isako. I don't even know what that means. Someone says, Aaron Clark starting to come into his own and getting his flowers killed at the past 2 weeks. Dude, he was great at the Titans. He was great at the Titans. And now he's at the Warriors. People are starting to... That's a penalty to the Warriors. Penalty to the Warriors at the 35 on the Broncos side of the field. So guess what, Warriors? You're back at home in the attack and 20 of the Broncos. Please do something with it. And, it's like, yeah, okay, he does come in, like, it's a soft penalty, but it's a penalty. 10 minutes to go with the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. It's a soft penalty, but it's a penalty. Ez is a great player, dude, and Ez is a great dude. Like, I know Ez. Like, I sat with his family when the Titans played the Sharks and whatnot in Coffs Harbour. Like, Ez is a great dude and deserves all the flowers that he gets. Brett Neslick says, didn't Munster get off the booze this year? I think it was last year, wasn't it? I think it was maybe last year. Second tackle here, 20 metres away here from the live of the Warriors. Wade Egan. He goes up to Aaron Clark. Ez passes it out the back, and it will be Tane Tuapiki who grabs it at the 25. The 15. He's away. Tane, taking up the 5. The Broncos' defense was broken. He's 5 metres away. Third tackle. Tane Tuapiki rolls it back to Wade Egan, then off to Aaron Clark. Go Ez, you big bopper. 1 metre away from the line. 6 again for the Warriors. You have to score, New Zealand. You have to score with all this ball. And the Warriors trots over the wires. Bushka! That is... Deary me, that's a try. That is a try from the Warriors, son. Deary me. Right on through. How do you stop him? How do you stop him? Big Lika Halasima with the try time. 4-6 with the kit to come. 4-6 with the kit to come. Great defensive effort from Walsh. Hold on. How do you expect Reece Walsh to stop Lika Halasima here? How do you expect Reece Walsh? That's not Reece's fault. That's not Reece's fault. That's the Lions' fault there. Like, you can't expect Reece Walsh better defend that. Like, who is this? That's Jordan Ricky. I always tell you guys, I'm not a fan of Jordan Ricky. I don't think he's as good as the hype suggests. And I think the hype comes from a lot of girls who find him very attractive. I think that's where the hype comes from. I think that he has been sold in the past, but I do not see anywhere near the quality that people have always come out. He's a likable guy online, sure, I get that. And sure, girls, I know you find Jordan Ricky attractive, but I just find him not as good defensively, and I don't feel like you get the kind of attack that people make out to be. And that was a bad missed tackle there from Jordan Ricky, and I know he's come back in, I know he's played for New Zealand, but I need to see a lot more out of him. I do. So 4-6 here to the with the Warriors to take a kick. Luke Metcalf last week was 1 from 3. Warriors have had problems with kickers for years. Let's see if he can get it. And he will just get it. 6-6 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. 6-6. Considering all this ball, this is bare minimum right now, Warriors. Considering how much ball. Like, I'll give you a stat here to tell you how much ball they've had. Team stats. It is 59% of possession to the Warriors so far, with 17 from 21 completion rate at 80%. The Broncos are at 11 from 16 with 68%. So you've had a significant amount more ball. You've had 16 more runs than them, but you've also got only about 70 more meters than them. Post-contact meters is favour of the Broncos. So, like, this is a really weird game at the moment. It's a really weird game, but the Warriors, this is the bare minimum expectation with how much ball you've had. But the defense of both teams at 94.29% for the Warriors, only 5 missed tackles in wet weather with 132 tackles made is really, really quality stuff. That's amazing. That's an amazing stat. And the what are you doing, Warriors? Why is Adam Pompey leaving that ball? So the ball's bounced over the dead ball line, and it's going to be a dropout from the Warriors to the Broncos. Why did Adam Pompey just leave that ball to bounce? He's left that. I know he slipped over later, but he left that ball. So it's going to be a dropout here from the Warriors to the Broncos. Ridiculous. Lika really is the future, man. Yeah, Lika Halasima is a very good player. He loves this whole shush thing, though. And that, my friends, is going out in the full. So, oh, it won't go in the full, sorry. It just won't even go close. So it's going to be a Broncos ball to 10. I used to work at Lululemon, and half of the girls that worked there started watching NRL specifically for the Broncos. Yep. Yeah, no. Whenever you talk about the NRL or rugby league with women, usually they talk about Jordan Ricky, they talk about Reece, and they talk about the Broncos. The Broncos on social, and that's why it's good with Madge, because Madge has taken a lot away from the social media sense, and he said basically to kind of smarten up the act and get back to rugby league and not just being a thirst trap club, which the Broncos have been for a few years now. First tackle now for the Broncos, 5 meters out, they got a 6 again. They give it out the back, and it's going to be Bronx 3 meters away now. Tyson Smoothie. I just realised they've got 3 hookers in this team. Tyson Smoothie, Corey Pakes, and Billy Walters. Third tackle now for the Bronx. Paddy Carrigan so close. 1 metre away. 1 metre away. They get it at the back to Corey Pakes. Then he gets it to Adam Reynolds. He kicks it through on third tackle, and that is not even close. I just don't even understand what the Broncos are doing. What are they doing, Broncos? That's going to be a 7 tackle set for the Warriors. That was third tackle. Really intriguing stuff, this game. I don't understand. Warriors, this sounds like you do. Sounds like I do what? It sounds like I do what, Warriors? Nate says, mate, 99% of women watch footy for a perv. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not going to lie and say that the NRLW women aren't attractive. There are some fantastic attractive women in the NRLW. But then again, I also love the quality of the game too. I think the NRLW is the only women's sport that I actually genuinely enjoy. I really enjoy NRLW. AFLW I can't get behind. Women's tennis is good for quality as well. I'm not watching the WNBA. And that will be on third tackle, kick to about the 15. So it's going to be Broncos ball. Going to be Broncos ball at the 15. This is an interesting game at this point. That's why I watch the NRLW. Look, I think it's a good mix. I think they've got some very attractive women in the NRLW, but I also think that the quality of the product is a lot better than a lot of other women's sports around the world. Like, women's UFC is fantastic. Women's tennis is fantastic. I'm not a fan of AFLW. I'm not really a fan of women's football, but I do know the quality is there. So, yeah, but the NRLW has some great, attractive women. Tyson Smoothie, what about Tyson Milkshake? You nearly deserve to be timed out for that comment. Tony says Warriors to win by 2 points. Right now, it's a close game that I don't know how it goes from here. 40-20 attempt, that's a great kick from Adam Reynolds. That's a great kick from Adam Reynolds. That's a 40-20 there for the Broncos, and they'll get the ball here at the 10. 4 minutes to go of the first half. Madison 05 says Warriors 13 plus margin. Why? Yeah, I don't know if Warriors was talking to me or talking to somebody in the chat, because he said something about sounds like you do. I don't know if he's talking to me or talking to you, because they ladies like the Ricky Dicky. You're an idiot, no. You're an idiot. So first tackle here with the Broncos, 4 meters away from the line. First tackle, Corey Pakes up to Adam Reynolds, and then they're going to be taken down through Gerhard Shibasaki, 4 meters away, second tackle. You haven't had to defend too much today here so far, the Warriors, so you really do need to hold out here. It's really important. Third tackle, 3 meters away. Arguably bad play the ball, but sure. Paddy Carrigan, he's 10 metres away, and that was a bit of a weak run there from him. Can he get the offload away? Cannot. 10 metres out, 4 tackle. Pushes to about 6 metres out. Oh, that's 6 again from Bunty Afoa. That's ridiculous. Sorry, man, but that was really poor. You've got to get off the tackle. So Reece Walsh taken down to the 5 on first tackle. This is an important attacking opportunity for the Warriors to defend if they want to be a big chance in this game, because this will change the whole complexion of the first half if they score. That should be 6 again against Niokora, but they won't call it. All right, they give it out to Corey Jensen, and Jensen third tackle, 5 metres away from the line for the Broncos. Keep holding them out here, was. Out to Paddy Carrigan. Carrigan to Reynolds. Oh my God, that's a hit. Woohoo! Shannon Harris-Tavita just rocked Adam Reynolds. He's just rocked him, dude. He rocked him. Walsh loses the ball, goes backwards. Broncos still have the ball here. It's 4 tackle. They're 15 metres away. Adam Reynolds thinks about the kick, doesn't take it. And it should be 5th tackle, 10 metres away. Tell you what, that was a huge hit there from Harris-Tavita on Renault. So Reynolds out of the play now on 5th. He rolls it back to Corey Pakes. Then they kick it through. Oh, the ball's bounced. It's going to be a dropout from the Warriors. Damn, this is a fun game, but. Robbo says, love watching Angel Reese highlights. She does it to herself, mate. She does it to herself. Jeez, that's a cracker hit from Harris-Tavita. So dropout coming up here from the Warriors to the Broncos. Someone says, think purely because how can you make people punching each other in their face boring? Fair? Kane says, the Broncos are going to win. I tipped the Broncos, but also right now they're not performing anywhere near close enough to how much they would be expecting. The Warriors are going to get the short dropout. Well done, Waz, and Taintor picking out of the 21st tackle. The thing is that, before the game, you're confident in the Broncos. But during the game, you're like, the Warriors are without Fisher Harris here, they're without Charles Neal-Krokstad, they're without Dallin Watani-Selesniak, they're without Rocco Berry. Broncos, you need to be doing a lot better than this right now. The Warriors are giving it to you. They've had all the ball. They haven't scored a great deal. But with that being said, Broncos, you expect to be a top 4 team this year. This is nowhere near what you should be expecting from a top 4 team. But that's the beautiful aspect of NRL in 2025, is that we don't know shit. No one knows shit. No one knows anything about this season. Upsets are happening every single game. We're seeing teams that you would never expect even be remotely competitive in games that they still lose, but they were competitive in. It's been a great season for just surprises. I watch every single game, and I know nothing about this season. I watch every single game, and I'll put my hand up and admit I know absolutely nothing about this season. And the Broncos are away at the 20. They're at the 30. They're at the 35. The 40. Shibasaki gets it out to the left. Who's going to get there? Who's going to get there? He will get there. Oh, he loses the ball, the Broncos. Oh, we got 70 metres down the field. Oh, no, we're going all the way back. Oh, what are they saying? They're saying this is a penalty to the Warriors, are they? What are they saying? We're going all the way back 70 metres here. Oh, okay, yeah, he doesn't get behind the line and then he gets involved in the play. Yeah, that's a correct call. That's a great call there from Chris Butler. That's a great call from Chris Butler because he does not get back in. I'd go for the 2 here, Warriors. Warriors, go for the 2. I know you're on the sideline, but I'd go for the 2 here. 54 seconds to go. You may as well go 8-6. Yep, that's exactly what they'll do. That's exactly right. Sagan says, how's it going from Sydney? I'm in India. Oh, you saying you're from Sydney? No, it's good. This is a beautiful city I'm in. Well, the Warriors are going to go for the 2 here to try and take the lead. It is from out far to the right, so this is not an easy kick in the wet weather. But that is a really unfortunate call for the Broncos, but it is the correct call because he did, from the long kick from the Warrior, they never got back on side for the play. Jared Farmoni says, this season has been really exciting despite the shitty rule changes, but I love the unpredictability of the season. Well, you can't really criticise the rule changes if you're enjoying the season. Do you know what I'm saying? Ah, there's my boy. There's my boy, the Mount Smart Joker. He's such a lovely human being, bro. He's a lovely bloke. Can you time this sport, Toxic Chandel says? So, yes, but it's hard. So, there's 80 minutes. If you're tied at the end of 80 minutes, there's 10 minutes of golden points, so whoever scores first wins. If there's no score at the end of that 10 minutes, then yes, it'll be a draw. And it's a point, 1 point each. But it's very difficult to get that. Metcalf will miss the kick. And the Broncos will get the... Oh, no! Oh, they're away! Oh, it's Stags! Oh, no! It's Reece Walsh! He goes out to the right, and the Broncos are going to score. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's a forward pass. Oh my gosh, Warriors, you are the luckiest fucking team I've ever seen in my life. Oh, Warriors, you are the luckiest team I've ever seen in my life. Warriors, you are the luckiest team I have ever seen in my life. The Broncos scored a length of the field try, but it's going to be a forward pass at the back after the penalty was missed from the Warriors. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's forward. It's forward. It's the right call. It's the right call. Stags does throw the ball forward. Warriors, I've got to be honest, that is the luckiest thing I have ever seen. You have a penalty to end the first half at 6-6. You miss the penalty. It doesn't go out. The Broncos catch the ball. They break through the line. They run the length of the field for a try, but it gets taken back for a forward pass at the 40. I have... This game's insane, bro. How good is this season? How good is this season? Adam Smarts go for the 2, you said, Blaze, far out. Hey, listen, I know the Warriors have problems with taking the kick, but I'm sorry, you shouldn't be not at least kicking it out, or at least getting it. Like, it's not my problem. I think go for the 2 in that situation every single week, every single time, and twice on Tuesdays. I think you absolutely go for the 2 there, because you take the lead 8-6 if you get it. But you better damn well kick it out if you miss it. Like, the kick was bad from Luke Metcalf, but what a crazy end of that half. That's why we love the Wars, Paul Maxey says. Dude. Mate, you guys are just saved from Katoni Stags. Well, there you go, guys. It's halftime at 6-6. It's just an insane finish there. Let's go through some of these stats here at halftime. Obviously, guys, hit that like button, subscribe button, like for every single game. We are so close to 30,000 subscribers. I reckon we can get there by tomorrow, which would be good. But, damn, let's go through some of these stats because that is an insane way to end up. Dude, the curse of the Warriors conversion kicking. Hey, that's another reason why you probably should have Tanner Boyd. Like, that's another reason why you probably should bring him in, because he is a good kicker. Tanner Boyd, for so long, I used to always say, Tanner Boyd does not miss. Like, occasionally he would, sure, but for the most part, he's a good kicker. You guys have not had a good kicker at the Warriors for years. Like, Shannon Harris-Avita cost him many games, I think it was last year or the year beforehand. Luke Metcalf has just clearly missed that and has missed. It was 1 from 3 last week. He's not exactly the best kicker. Maybe you do actually bring Tanner in because that's a guaranteed 7+ also can convert. But, you know, what would I know? But the Warriors' curse of the kicking continues, but they're just lucky they didn't concede. Now, possession-wise, it's been 53% of the Wars, 47% of the Broncos. The Broncos got a little bit more at the back end of that first half. The completion rate for the Warriors is 76%, so 20 from 26 completions, which is, okay. It's not bare minimum, but it's on the lower end. You want at least kind of 80, but it's still okay. It's not bad. The Broncos at 66% with 16 from 24 is not great. Like anything under 70% is really, really poor. I wouldn't even say 70% is good at all, but you at least take anything plus 70. Anything below 70 is not good. 16 from 24 is a meh. The runs so far, 86 runs for the Wars, 61 runs for the Broncos, so they've had 26 more runs, the Warriors. They've had 662 run meters to 530 for the Broncos. So realistically, the Warriors should be up with these stats. 221 post contact to 216, and that's in favour of the Warriors. But considering the Warriors have had, it's 88 and 60. 89 and 63 now. Considering the Warriors have had 26 more runs than the Broncos, to have only 232 post-contact to 219, 13 post-contact gap is not great. That's definitely in favour of the Bronx there. But the run meters is 150 extra meters, right? So 160 odd now. It updates throughout half-time. It's nearly 30 extra runs now. So it's not great in the post-contact. On the all-run meters, that's fine. 2 line breaks apiece so far. Tackle breaks is 12-6 to the Warriors. Average set distance. Now, guys, you're gonna see in wet weather, the average set distance is going to be a lot lower. Okay, so as I say on every single stream, anything 40 to 45 is a fantastic amount of average set distance. 45 plus is incredible. 35 to 40 is like a bare minimum, right? But let's take it down to 30 to 35 or even 25 to 30 in wet weather conditions. The Warriors' average set distance is 27.15, which is usually pathetic. That would usually be pathetic. But if you think I'm going to insult that, the Broncos are at 23.23. They've made, on an average set distance, 23.23. I don't necessarily believe that these stats are correct. But then again, if it is, then that's actually spectacularly bad. Like, that is spectacularly bad on an average set distance. Spectacular. It's amazing. You should actually get an award for having that low of an average set distance. So that means that every set you're basically making 20 meters. You're basically making 20 meters from 5 tackles on an average. So that means you've had less than that. There's no way it's that bad. It's surely not. There has to be a mistake here. Because that is spectacularly bad. It means your forwards are doing less than nothing. Less than nothing. And the Warriors aren't too much better in that regards. But again, the wet weather is going to impact that. But you haven't seen those kind of stats for a long time. It's actually even now more, even at 26.53, 25.46. Then you've got the average play the ball speed. It's always going to be slow in wet weather, 3.71 to 3.76. Wipe that out. It's always going to be slow in wet weather. 5 offloads to 2 Broncos way. In regards to kick defusal, 33% for the Bronx, 67% for the Wars. You go down to defense effective tackle percentage, you're going to see some pretty solid defense in the rain for the most part. 91.89% for the Warriors and 91.63% for the Broncos. So both teams doing pretty well there defensively. 170 tackles made for the Warriors to 8 missed and 7 ineffective. That's fine. 186 tackles made for the Broncos with 12 missed and 5 ineffective. That's fine. Both of those stats are really, really solid. Both of those stats are solid for the Bronx and the Warriors. Errors-wise, you're going to see errors in wet weather. 9 errors for the Warriors, 7 errors for the Broncos. Penalties conceded, that was huge. 7-2 Broncos way. The Broncos are giving away 7, Warriors 2. Ruck infringements is 2-1 Warriors way. Inside 10 meters is 3-0 against the Broncos, and on reports is 1-0 to the Broncos. So you look at these stats and you go, okay, both these average set distances make you sick. They are genuinely pathetic, but and it's a lot of errors and a lot of penalties. But overall, the Warriors realistically should be winning based on these stats. But the Broncos' defense has been solid in keeping them out because the Warriors have constantly been on the Broncos' line in the attack in 20. But as I said throughout the beginning part of the stream, the Broncos do this every week in the first 20 where they hold out and hold out and hold out against the Cowboys and the Dolphins where they just kept pumping the line and the Broncos would break their heart. But the issue is the Broncos have actually got an opportunity to break the Warriors' heart after all that defense, and yet they kick it on 3rd tackle and it's a 7-tackle set, or it's ridiculous. Like, the Broncos haven't been great in this game by any stretch of the imagination. So you should be grateful that you're at 6-6 at a tie game, and you're a forward pass away from actually taking the lead on halftime. So I don't know how to call this game. You still maybe lean with the Bronx, but the Warriors have had more of the ball and should be doing more with it. It's literally tied. So I don't know. I probably still got to tip the Bronx, but this is just up in the air. This is 50-50 at the moment. This is completely 50-50. Paul Maxey says, do you get any points for going sideways? If that was the case, both these teams would be on 100 points, mate. Kieran Douglas says, what is the weather like for the Roosters game today? Thanks from Ireland. I'm in India right now, man, so I'm the worst person to ask for this, but let me go have a look at Sydney weather. I'll go have a look at Sydney weather. It is clear. It's fine. It's currently 23 degrees in Sydney. Beautiful weather. Beautiful weather. I think that game's at Allianz, isn't it? I would assume it's at Allianz. Bracken Mills says, once again, the Warriors' defense is keeping them in the contest against a full team with a lot of their players out. Yeah, no, I agree. You know, big outs of Fisher Harris, Charles Neal-Klukstad, Rocco Berry, and Dallin Martinez-Lesniak, and yet, you know, it's 6-6. Well done. Poppy says, hey guys, is this a good live stream? No, this is a bad live stream. No, I'm bad. No, you can't trust me. Can't trust me. Olivia says, I don't know why Big X had to touch that ball. He knew it was offside, right? I don't know in that moment. You got to put yourself into a player's mindset and think, like, in the thick of a game, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're 35 minutes deep in wet weather. Sometimes you just don't, they wouldn't be thinking, you know, and unfortunately that is the case in regards to that for mine. But you could be right. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. Because people expect perfection from NRL players, and it's like, you're not going to get that, but that was a pretty obvious offside. I don't know. It's a bit all over the shop. Seb Watson says, 6-6 second half, shit fest, golden point, bunch of misses and a tie. Let's move on to the next game. Thank you for your positivity there, Seb Watson. We really appreciate your positive thinking for this one. Oh, Uncle Tix has messaged me. What's he sent me here? Yeah, really disappointed. I can't remember catching a Storm side that's been up 16-2, then had 40 in a row put on us. That's embarrassing. So I'm currently streaming right now, mate. But, oh, no. Hold on. Why is my sound not working? My sound working now? Oh, no, apparently not. I can't even message him. Can't message him back. Why is my sound not working right now? Whatever. Robbo says, hang around for a bit, man. Can yarn? Nah, I'm bad. I'm bad. Bad stream. Bad stream, me. Happy 2 months, puppy. Get around you. Jay says, this is a shit live stream. It's awful, mate. It really is. I'm so sorry that I'm so shit. Jamie Ferguson said, this round has been crazy. This season has been crazy. It's not this round. This season has been crazy. This is actually for, if you're a rugby league purist, right, which is a very wank kind of comment to make, but if you're a rugby league purist, then this is a really enjoyable game to watch. Yes, there is mistakes, but you have to understand the mistakes will come from wet weather. The Warriors were pretty heavy underdogs this game. The Broncos were pretty heavy favourites, but also if you watch enough Broncos games, you know that they're nowhere near the perfect situation yet. You know, Broncos fans, if you win this, you'll be pretty concerned still. No one is a guaranteed bolter. The Bulldogs are the probably most guaranteed bolter based off of the start of the season, but they haven't proven anything when it comes to the crunch yet, and also their season has come against a lot easier teams, but also you could make a suggestion that even the Storm right now aren't the perfect, and that's what I'm saying, like, the Dogs have a lot to prove, but they've proven the most out of the comp so far, but nobody's guaranteed for the comp, man. You could make an argument for a lot of teams right now. You really could. Yeah, thank you, William. Weather is sweet in Sydney. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but it says the last play from the Broncos could be the best try of 2025. Well, no. Like, it's a breakaway. It's a great try, but we've seen some fantastic tries. Like that, what was the try against the Sharks? The Raiders try against the Sharks 2 weeks ago or last week. It was 2 weeks ago, that's right. That was amazing in the 78th minute of the game for the Raiders to come back and win that in the last seconds. And they got it through pretty much every hand on their team. So the Raiders right now are still the try of the season. And even the Broncos that have scored that. It's like, contextually, it's crazy that the Warriors kicked it, missed it on halftime, and the Broncos ran the length. But I still would have had that Raiders try as the best try of the season so far. Scott Wood says, don't let others influence you, Poppy. You make up your own mind. I can't believe we're all still talking about Poppy. I can't believe we're all still debating the good stream. Jared Farmer says, that is very rare. I think it's only the third time Melbourne have conceded 40 plus. No, bro. No, they've conceded 3 times 50 plus. That was like a long time ago, though. That was like 2001, 2002. But no, Melbourne's conceded over 40 plus many times. Not as many as other teams, but not like 3 times. They've conceded over 53 times. Welcome to Dance Yarn. Says, how's it in India? It's good in Udaipur, man. Like, I wasn't a massive fan of a couple of places that I've been to so far because it's been so hectic and I've gotten sick a couple of times. But if you get, like, Udaipur is spelled Udaipur. That's where I am right now. And, like, the view here is spectacular. It's a great lake and there's multiple lakes. It's the city of lakes. It's in Rajasthan. And it's beautiful, man. So I enjoy it here. Wasn't a massive fan of everywhere else, but Jaipur was good for its own reasoning. Like, I think that was really historical and really cool in parts of it. Delhi was just wild, mate. Delhi was wild. And Agra was interesting. Agra was interesting. Jamie Ferguson says, yes, brother, fully agree. Makes Super Rugby so boring to watch. Totally different level. Hey, we'll get around the drill today, though. Dosa viti vatafavortas, eh? Marabish. That's why it says, thought it was Bo Nix out there throwing for the Denver Broncos. That's how forward it was. It was forward. Broncos don't mind a forward pass. Hey, listen, I will say I'm grateful they called it a forward pass because Warriors fans are still talking about that 2023 prelim with Reece Walsh. So I'm really glad and grateful that if they had scored that try and gone to win the game, the Broncos, the Warriors fans would have had a meltdown when they saw that it was forward in the end and if it didn't get called. So I'm super grateful that the referee made the right call there because that prelim still gets mentioned by Warriors fans. Jamie Ferguson says, we have a chance at bottom 4 if we keep it together. But so hard to pick this year. Don't worry, brother. Your Titans will start cooking. Hey, mate, please. I'm praying. I said on my Instagram story yesterday. Please, Titans, get a move on. Can you see that this is an underdog season? Can you see that anyone can win this year? Please, can we get it together? You know, I'll be live tomorrow for the Titans Raiders, and I'm scared shitless. I'm scared shitless right now. Dadsmate says the Dogs have played 2 top 8 teams from last year. The Storm have also played 2 top 8 teams from last year. I think that so far this season, there's no denying that Bulldogs have been the best team so far this season. But, you know, watching rugby league as much as we do, we know there's 27 rounds in a season plus finals, and the Bulldogs haven't proven that part of the season yet, and it's like they haven't really been able to do that yet besides last year where they lost to Manly in a great game. So I just need to see that from them, but I need to see them take on a team like the Storm, because yes, it doesn't take away everything from Melbourne, but it also takes away a lot from Melbourne. So I don't know. No team has really proven everything yet, and that's the beauty of this year. So the Warriors and the Broncos are out on the field. Hit that like button and subscribe. We've got a second half of just, I don't know what to expect here. And then we've got the Panthers versus the Roosters right after it in Sydney. Okay, well, maybe during the bellyache era, it's rare. It's rare at any time for Melbourne, but it's happened more than 3 times is what I'm saying. I don't think Craig Bellamy has ever conceded 50 plus. Skidder B says, hey mate, woke up with some people blowing off fireworks. Good. T. Ricky says, long time bro, get around ya. So they have kicked it off and the Broncos will kick it down to the Warriors. Highlander says, yeah, your Dura. Get around the Dura. Not the Drew or the Dura. But yeah, the Dura did well. Alright, so the Warriors now, they'll get this ball to the 25 through Jackson Ford. It's a good run. Second tackle. We already won a few premierships, 99, 2000... Hold on. Are you talking? No, you're not talking about Melbourne. No. Take that 07 and 09 out of your comment. Take that 07 and 09 out of your comment. No, buddy. That's not how it works. The Melbourne Storm won 99, 2012, 2017, and 2020. No, in regards to 2007 and 2009. No one believes that. No one will ever agree with you. Your team cheated to win the comp both those years. You absolutely take out 07 and 09. But I'll give you every other premiership is absolutely fair and valid. So Broncos now will get this ball here to the 15. Daz is taking out 2012 because he's a Bulldogs fan. Yeah, Daz doesn't want to talk about 2012. So second tackle, but I will absolutely accept 99, 2012, 2017, and 2020. But Daz, who was a Dogs fan, is not going to accept 2012. But there is no one on planet Earth who is not a Melbourne fan who will accept your 2007 and 2009. We will accept 2008, though, where you lost 40-0 with a cheating team in the grand final to Manly. Forward tackle now for the Broncos at the halfway point. I can't believe you've tried to claim that, by the way. Welcome to Darn's Yards. I'm actually surprised you've had the audacity to try and claim 2007, 2009. That is a bold call. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. So Tane to Bicky will grab this ball here at the 5 and take it down to the 10. I'm a proud Melbourne supporter. That's fine, but let's not try and lie about 2007 and 09 in regards to the context behind those premierships. Second tackle here at the 15. That's fine to be a proud Melbourne supporter. There's no denying that. But come on. Come on. Oh, good offload there from the Warriors, and it'll be Luke Metcalf now to the 35 on third tackle. Skidamedi says, the Roosters fixtures this season are so weird. Broncos versus Roosters first round, I think we played last week. Now Panthers versus Roosters played, and now they're playing again. People are so focused on the draw this year, eh? I hate the Bulldogs don't play the Storm until like twice in the last 5 rounds or whatever, but I don't really care too much about the draw really. But a lot of people are focusing on it a lot, and I get the question, but I don't think it matters. At the end of the day, you're going to play these teams in the 27 rounds, so I don't even really care about the Bulldogs Storm being 2 times in the last 5 rounds. But it sucks we have to wait that long for it, is what I'm suggesting. No, you did not still win them, Dance Yarns. Well, okay, sorry, Dance Yarns, I've got to tell you here, your team cheated. Your team cheated the salary cap. You did not win them, and the NRL took the premierships away from you. So let's not lie to ourselves, and let's not lie to anybody else. Your team did not win the premiership. They did not. The 07 and 09 did not happen. That is a fact. The NRL took them away from you. So it's a very bold call that you try and double down on this. It's a very, very bold call to double down on this. Fit tackle now for the Broncos. Anyway, let's move off of that. But just to reiterate, 07 and 09 were officially taken away from you because of the cheating. All right, officially. All right, so the Warriors now are going to bring this ball out here to the 15 on first tackle. William says, Tyson Smoothie in the front row was a joke. We have Big Ben playing Rezzies. Look, the Broncos have been interesting today. I don't know. Like, I know Billy Walters scored a try in the first, 5 minutes of the game. But I'm still interested in why Billy Walters was actually started instead of Corey Pace. Because Corey Pace is solid. Like, I think Corey Pace is great in the 9. Great run there from Wade Egan. It'll be 4 tackle at the 45 on his own side of the field. Slapper says, claiming cheated wins is weird. It is weird. Oh no, Wade Egan's down here. God bless him, I hope he's alright. Wade Egan does have a bit of a rough injury history in recent years, so I really hope this isn't too bad. Answer the question, you are from Melbourne. To answer your question, I'm from Melbourne, and Dan's, okay, yeah, he didn't ask you about that one, mate. He didn't ask about that. Oh, it's kidding me, to be fair. Oh no, a little bit. I think this will be fine. I don't think this is a penalty or anything like that. It's just 4 tackle over the Warriors. Wade Egan does stand back up. GT says, don't worry, the Finns will take down the Dogs. Well, the Broncos play the Dogs next week, and you're going to have to play a lot better than this, Brisbane. But they are at home. They are at Suncorp, so there'll be an interesting game between the Dogs and Broncos next week, but they're going to have to play better than this. And Reece Walsh, that's a good take. That's a good take in wet weather conditions. And it'll be Broncos ball here at the 10. He hasn't been tackled yet. Now he has. Skidamedi says, I've always thought Corey Pace was a bit better than Billy Walters. I agree. I think Corey Pace is better than Billy Walters. I don't think Billy Walters is as bad. Oh, is that a knock on? Oh, knock on Broncos. Warriors ball at the 10. Oh, knock, knock, Jesse Yardless. Who's there, Mr. Knock On? Mr. Knock On who? Mr. Knock On you, buddy. Warriors ball 10 metres away. But I don't think Billy Walters is as bad as people make him out to be. He has been very poor in the past, but I think he got better, and he's a good supplementary option. He's a good option, but I don't think he's a starting 9. I don't. All right, so Warriors 10 metres away. They have had so much ball in the attacking area, dude. Look, Warriors. Not many people gave you a chance this game. So they're 5 minutes away from the line. So you should be really super happy that your team's performing against expectations, and it's great to watch. First tackle here at the 15. A lot of people did actually tip the wires too, though, which was surprising. I don't see anything about... Okay, let's move on from Dan's yarns. Dan, unfortunately, this is what happens when you try to claim premierships that you cheated for. But let's move on now from Melbourne. We'll get back to this game. So third tackle here, 5 metres away from the line. I hope you did learn your lesson here, however. Out the back here, right-hand side, Harris Avita, short ball right in here. Corey, 2 metres away from the line, 4 tackle. 2 metres away. Wade Egan, he'll get it to... Metcalf kicks it through, 4 tackle. It'll be drop out. Drop out here from the Broncos to the Warriors coming up. T. Ricky says, let's go Warriors, we got this. Well, it's a good game right now. Long way to go. 34 minutes, and you're going to have another attacking opportunity here from a dropout. Let's just see if they can get it, because we have been seeing a lot of teams being able to get these short dropouts recently. Especially when Andrew's not here. Oh, no. Andrew, you got to be careful of that bloke. Got to be careful of him. All right, so the Broncos will give the short dropout, and that's a knock-on from the Broncos. It'll be Warriors ball here, 8 metres away, but that's originally a knock-on from the Broncos. Yeah, first knock-on Broncos, correct. The bat-on definitely goes forward. I don't even know why the Broncos are arguing that. It's very clearly go forward. Don't even bother challenging it. Trust me, you don't want to challenge it, Reno. It's very clearly forward. You don't want to challenge it, bud. You'll lose your challenge, and that's the correct call. They do not challenge the call. I hate the short dropout. Yes and no, William. Like, it depends on the situation. Like, at the end of the game, I guarantee you that you wouldn't hate the short dropout if you're up by 4 with 30 seconds to go or a minute to go, and you need to get the... No, sorry, you're down by 4 or whatever. Anyway, long story short, it depends on the context. Depends on when it is. Unfortunately, everyone goes to the short dropout now, though. So every single time. But like from my conversation with my boys at the Titans and whatnot, they say, well, you may as well try and risk it to get the ball back. You may as well, and it's right. You may as well give it a crack, even though it's awful for the most part usually. Warriors now second tackle here at the 4. I didn't really know how to explain that in regards to how I'm thinking, but in certain situations, the short dropout is necessary for teams, and that's going to be probably 6 again for the Warriors here. You've got to call 6 again. Oh, Dev, settle down, Willison. Settle down, bro. No, that's on you, Willison. Settle down, bro. You stood over the top of him. You stood over the top of Liquor Halasima there. Come on, man. Get a grip. Sam says, short dropouts are too risky. Old school, Darren Lockyer way, if you ask me, kick to halfway. I don't disagree with you. I can understand the perspective of how the players think nowadays. I can understand that, and I can also understand what you're saying. And I would agree with that, but it depends on if you need the ball or not. There's going to be a drop ball there from Van Malga. There is going to be a drop ball there, so it's going to be Broncos ball at the 10. High risk, high reward for short dropouts. Yeah, they took away a lot of the risk, though. They took away a lot of the risk when they removed the penalty option. So if you go for a short dropout and the ball bounces short of the 10, the opposition team can't grab that ball. It'll be a penalty to use. So it's a benefit to nearly do that in case, someone makes a brain-dead decision. And it's like, well, you can't touch it too, but if they took away the penalty for if it does go short, where the opposition now will just get the ball at the 10, and if you kick it out in the full, I think it might be a penalty. It's a little bit confusing. There's like different. There is a penalty option, I think, if it goes out in the full. That's going to be a penalty here to the Broncos on first tackle. Penalty to the Broncos from their own 15. Oh, yeah, that is true. Scott Wood says, Dogs just have a nice trip away up north this time of the year. We'll show up, don't you worry. We'll see. We'll see. This season's been throwing a lot at us. There's been a lot of surprises. A lot of Bulldogs fans online have been going off as if like that win yesterday was against a really, really good Rabbitohs team. And the Rabbitohs have been very shaky. They lost to the Cowboys last week. So, yeah, the Bulldogs still have a lot to prove. But we'll see next week. And the Broncos have a lot to prove too. But that will be a good win for the Bulldogs. Probably their best win of the season if they can beat the Broncos at Suncorp. So third tackle now for the Broncos at the 45 on the Warriors side of the field. And Corey Jensen now at the 35 on fourth tackle. 30 minutes to go here over the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go. We're so close. So close to 30k. There is a good chance we could get there today. Fifth tackle at the 20. Out to Ben Hunt, kicks it through, probably played at. Smart there from the Warriors player who was just offside because he actually acknowledged that he was offside and didn't chase it. And it will be Chanel Harris-Tavita who does actually touch the ball, runs to it, grabs it, and now it's Warriors ball first tackle at the 25, now second tackle at the 30. That was smart. Tasmate says they changed it after costing the Broncos a grand final. Funny, they also changed the extra time golden point rules after the 2015 grand final as well. Yeah, that is something that people have noticed. 40-20 attempt here from the Warriors. On third tackle, no one's out there. Good kick. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, that's a perfect kick from the Warriors. 40-20, well done. That was so close to being out in the full, though. That is so close to being out in full. Bizarb says rugby is back. Let's go. You mean rugby league, and it's also 7 rounds in, mate. This is the 7th round. You mean rugby league, though. Rugby is rugby union. Rugby league is rugby league. But 40-20, that is perfect. That is so close to going out in the full, but it was just short, which is nice. It was third tackle, Skidamedius, so Walsh was at fullback, but also, it's very difficult because if he's in the middle, you can still get that 40-20 there, left or right. He kind of bit more to the right and was following that because he didn't realise they'd go for a kick on third tackle, but they did, obviously. So they caught him out, but a lot of fullbacks get caught out there. Second tackle here for the Warriors, 5 away. They give it to Metcalf. Metcalf off to Tane Tuapiki. He's going to run it straight through, and he's 3 metres away from the line. Third tackle here for the Warriors. Third tackle here for the Warriors. They give it out to Metcalf. Metcalf to Marata Niokore. And Niokore is 5 metres away now, 4th tackle. They've been here a lot, the Warriors. They've been here a lot. Wade Egan. He goes short as Kakawes. Boppa! Oh, he's so close. And he'll be held up over the line. So it's going to be, I think, 5th tackle here at the 10. KO is going up to $40 a month. What's the website you watch the games on? So I'm international, so I'm in India, so we have a different service. I pay, I think it is like $35, $40 a month for international coverage. That's Australian too, yeah. Oh, chance here for the Warriors! They're going to score! Oh, he's got it! He's got it! He's got it! That was a very lucky try, but they will score down on the wing. The New Zealand Warriors take the lead at 10-6 with a kick to come. This is upset season, baby. This is upset season. But the ball hits the grass from the Warriors, and then I think it might be Chanel Harris-Tavita who just throws his foot at it. He kicks it through, and it goes to the wing, and the Warriors will score to take the lead at 10 points to 6. It's Edward Kosi who will score. Or was it Aaron Clark that kicks this ball? No, it wasn't. Ez rolled the ball. So Barnett with the ball, then it hits the ground. No, it's Tane Tuapiki who just throws his right boot at it, bounces into the corner, and Edward Kosi picks it up. That's a very lucky try for the Warriors, but winners make their own luck, and they will get that. That'll be a great play for them. Great play for them. And he's done well, Edward Kosi, in wet weather to actually get that, because it wasn't a guaranteed try until he actually grabbed the ball full on. But the Warriors take the lead 10-6 with 27.5 minutes to go of the game. I beg your pardon, Biz. William says, hi, bro. How you doing? All good this week? Yeah, no, I'm not sick this week. It was really sick last week, as you guys know. But this week, I'm all good. Skinner says, was it Cobbo's wing? Hold on. No, it was Jesse Arthur's wing. No, it was Jesse Arthur's side. Unfortunately, get how much but you can't really stop that. You can't really stop that. The ball hits the grass. It's a lucky boot from Tane Tuapiki that lands in well for Edward Kosi. Like you can't really blame the wing or the centre for that. Yes, Gehamachi Pissaki'd come in, but it was a very unlucky try against the Broncos. Very lucky try for the Warriors, but winners make their own luck. And Warriors still can't kick a conversion, so it's 10-6 for the Warriors with 27 minutes to go of the game. These boys have no hope against the Dogs next week. It'd be a tough one at Suncorp, man. TOI try time of the Wires. It is. Levis is very lucky. Yeah, but winners make their own luck. It is lucky, but winners also do make their own luck. But only 4-point game because the Warriors haven't been able to make a conversion for about 2-3 years now. Okay, when I was at the Broncos vs Tigers game, Selwyn was playing so far in, he was nearly in the centre. Yeah, sure. I don't know what that relates to today, but sure. I don't really know what that relates to in regards to that try because it was Jesse Arthur the swing, but, you know, sure. So first tackle now for the Warriors. Adam Pompey gets it back, then off to Vaimalga? Number 16 is Vaimalga, yeah? Yeah, Dimitri Vaimalga. That's right. It's interesting that they do actually have Liko playing the back row today. Third tackle here at the 30. Jared Farmoni says, I remember in Reggie's last year they were testing 12 picking in the halves for some reason, but maybe he can take a chance of those fifth options. Yeah, okay, well, but that was... That try there is not necessarily a halves play. That's just anybody throwing a boot on it and it luckily kind of bouncing into the corner. Like, it wasn't anything... Anyone in that situation would just throw their right boot at that, and it just luckily kind of landed off for him. Let's not pretend like that was a creative decision-making play. It was more a creative kind of, I'll throw the boot at, and luckily it bounces in the right direction for the try. So that wasn't like a halves play what Tane did just then. So the second tackle now at the 8. And I don't think the Warriors should be testing out like more guys who aren't necessarily halves. Right now they're in a bit of a halves situation at the club, so I don't think that would be the right play to move a fullback into the halves. Trust me, as a Titans fan. So Payne Haas with a good run. That's a good run. He's still going here to the 33, 4th tackle. Four tackle. Warriors aren't even on side for this. Reece Walsh with a decent enough run to the 44. He's had such a rough season, man. He's had such a rough season, Reece Walsh. The Warriors learnt one set play to use. That's not a good kick from Adam Reynolds, and that's going to go out about the 33. It's a Warriors ball. That's not a good kick. If the Warriors learnt one set play to use on the fourth in the opposition's red zone, that'd be dangerous. It comes due to the fact that they don't have a great deal of attack. But again, they're winning, so it's not like Warriors fans can be really complaining too heavily here. They're up 10-6, and they actually do... Hold on. If the Warriors are to win this, they would go to equal second with the Storm. They're nowhere close to being above the Storm on points differential. They're minus 20 right now. They've been minus 16, but they would go into third position for the week, for now anyway. The only teams that could go back above them would be the Raiders. That's it. The Warriors would actually finish off the weekend in the top 4 if they win this game. All right, so third tackle now for the Warriors, the 42. Will I say that people, like other teams, will be scared of the Warriors long term? No, but they will be in the top 4 by the end of the weekend if they win this game. Taint or Picky taken down to the 18, so it was close, so close. Jay says, yeah, that's true. I tried to remove the message before you read it because of how dumb it was. I would have probably seen it anyway. That's a 7 tackle set here for the Broncos. That's caught in goal. Yeah, it's caught in goal. So it'll be a 7 tackle set for the Broncos. Not a great kick from the Wires. Yeah, Jay says you were all bells and whistles yesterday, William. Yeah, William says, not sure we win this from here. Well, mate, it's a 4-point game with 24 minutes to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why you give up hope so quickly. It's literally a 1-try game, and a conversion takes the lead, and there's 24 minutes to go here. I don't understand why you'd be giving up hope immediately. First tackle now. Ben Hunt to the right-hand side, and then Jordan Ricky will be 45 metres away. Really need Walsh to have a good game soon, yeah. Yeah, it's a concern because like we were expecting it to come at one stage, but it still hasn't come. Third tackle here at the 45 on the Warriors side of the field. Yes, Ben. Yes, it is. Jared Fartmoney says anything can happen. There is still a long way to go. Absolutely. And this is the Warriors we're talking about here. It's not like a team that is... Well, we saw yesterday a team have a surprise come back up against a team that would never kind of throw it away. So, you know, anything can happen in this sport. Anything can happen. First tackle for the Warriors at the 25. Don't forget, we'll be live for the Roosters Panthers after this as well. That was the start, really, of the biggest upsets of the season. That was the real solid start. That was the one that surprised everyone at the beginning. Third tackle now for the Warriors at the 42. Very close to offside there. He's fine. That's also close to a 6 again, but they won't call it. Yeah, Ben's not had a good game here today, in my opinion, Olivia. I think Ben Hunt's been a little bit off. I don't think he's been as great as people have made out, though, throughout the entirety of the season. I think that people are willfully wanting him to be really good at the Bronx, but I haven't seen it like other people have. And that'll be a good take there by Jesse Arthurs, and he'll be taken out of the 10, first tackle. I just haven't seen the same Ben Hunt this year as other people are seeing. Maybe it's just Broncos just really hoping for it to be the case, but I personally haven't seen it so far. Now, third tackle for the Bronx at the 25. Yeah, don't give away a penalty. All you have to do is just make your tackles here, guys. Second half completions. Both teams are only 1 incomplete set. 9 from 10 for the Warriors, 6 from 7 for the Broncos. I also apologise for jinxing the Tigers. I said the Tigers haven't had a lot of scandal on this stream last week, and then the Galvin stuff happened. Fair. But the Galvin stuff has been looming. Like, that kind of happened last year on a much lesser extent, about a quarter of the way through the season. Ben will be good for us at 9 when Ezra comes back in. Ezra needs to be at 6 to unlock Walsh's game. Ezra shouldn't even be playing in the game of rugby league, but when he comes back, yes, he more than likely will be 6, and Ben Hunt probably does go to 9. And second tackle for the Warriors. They'll get dragged back here to the 15. 20 minutes to go of the game. Warriors lead 10-6. Hit that like button and subscribe. 20 minutes to go. Damn, how far do the Broncos drop if they lose this game? They definitely go below... They would have to lose by 20 to go below the Raiders. They're not losing by 20. But the Raiders could win tomorrow against the Titans, to be fair. Realistically, they'll probably just go to 5th, actually, the Bronx. If the Raiders were to win tomorrow. Fifth tackle here for the Warriors now. I really don't know what we're doing wrong. We have at least top 5 roster in the league, but play like a bottom 8 team a lot of games. I think a lot of the issue with the Broncos is that they kind of... that's going to be a 7-tackle set. Yep. They will luckily get the bounce there, the Broncos, because the ball goes over the top of Reece Walsh, and the Broncos will get a 7-tackle set here from the 20. But in regards to the Broncos, I think a lot of it comes from ego. Tell me I'm wrong. And that's what Madge has to adjust at the club. So 0 tackle now at the 33. Mick Ennis getting on a massive glaze job with the Broncos right now, which is really odd. Ego is a massive part of the problem, Joe. And that's why I think Madge is the right man for the job to, change that fortune over the next couple of years. With that being said, though, Michael Maguire did well at the Rabbitohs. Outside of that, like at the Tigers, he didn't really get it going. But then again, that's the Tigers too. Broncos left the left-hand side, and that's an awful pass there from Adam Reynolds. And the Warriors are away. Kurt Catewell at the 30, the 20, the 10. I think he's going to score. He flicks it back on side. Tries over the wires. Luke Metcalf scores the try. Adam Reynolds, what are you doing? Paul Mason says, who did Ego play for? The Broncos. 14-6 with the kid to come. Adam Reynolds, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? The Wires. No Fisher Harris. No Charles Nickel-Klukstad. No Rocco Berry. No Dallin Martinez-Lesniak. No problem right now. Still 19 minutes to go, but I don't know what... You just got to hope. You've just got to really hope that... You've just got to really hope that the winger doesn't touch this. Hold on. Let me just exit out of this so I can fix this up again. I don't think he does, but you've just got to really hope that he doesn't touch that ball there. The number 2 for the Warriors. For some reason my name's... Edward Cozy. Robert says, told you I wasn't worried about the Broncos. Yeah, fair enough, but also long-term season-wise... I still feel like long-term season-wise, most people will probably look towards the Broncos over the Wars. But, at the end of the day, as a Dragons fan, you're not really actually even really thinking about that. You're just wanting... I know you wanted the Broncos to win, didn't you? Because you would have preferred that because then the Warriors now jump the Dragons, I guess. But again, the ladder doesn't matter at this point. This helps you out. If you are a team that wants to be a good team this year and have a chance to win the comp this year, you don't look at the teams below you jumping you at this point of the season. You look at the teams above you that you can now be closer to on the long-term scale. That's why I say as a Dragons fan, this is actually a better result. I know on the short-term game, the Warriors will jump the Dragons, but now... the Broncos are closer to you as well, who are on top. So you prefer the teams below to win so that you go up because you shouldn't be caring about them. You should be caring about yourselves. And if you believe you're going to win, then you'd rather the teams above you lose. That's what I was trying to say to you before. And Metcalf will... They suck at converting, bro. I'm sorry, Warriors fans, but you can't convert a kick to save your life. Honestly, get Tanner Boyd in the team because you guys can't convert a kick to save your life. 14-6 with 17 minutes and 42 seconds to go of the game. The Warriors fans are chanting fraud alert. Oh, hey, listen. Maybe give it 7 minutes and... Actually, to be fair here, Broncos... To be fair, it's got to go there for the time being. It's got to go there. Prove us wrong. But you are on fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Out in the full for the Broncos. Warriors penalty at the halfway point. You are on fraud alert. Yes, Brisbane, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party, son. Voldy says, and what team do you go for? I go for the Titans, man. Unfortunately, we have not been fantastic, but I look forward to either one of these teams actually talking shit. Neither one of these teams can talk shit to me right now. Chad Fun Money says, yeah, we know. It's like Metcalf could be 100% of conversions one game and then the next game barely make one. Well, last week he was 1 from 3. This week he's what, 1 from 3? I think he's 1 from 3 again this week. Mercy, please hit me. He says, no, that's not what we do around here, buddy. First tackle here with the Warriors, 20 minutes away from the line. If they score a converted try, 14 points, I don't think the Broncos come back from that. So Mitchell Barnett now, he's 10 metres away from the line, second tackle. tend to beat the Broncos with the Warriors. I knew, Robbo. I knew it was because of the Dragons and not like on an overall kind of scare factor kind of deal. I knew that it was an individualistic thing with the Dragons because it didn't make sense outside of that. So 4 tackle now, 3 metres away. Out the back here to Metcalf. Metcalf here. Chance for the Warriors. He'll be taken down. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. You're an idiot. Oh, Tony Staggs. That's pure just stupidity. That's pure stupidity from Staggs. The penalty to the Warriors here at the 10. Now, it wasn't Reece Walsh. Stop showing Reece Walsh on the screen. It was Tony Staggs here. You know, he takes him to the ground there and then pulls him across. I don't even know why the camera showed Reece Walsh there. That's just encouraging hate towards him when it was Tony Staggs who makes the tackle and then once the tackle is complete, keeps dragging him across. That's against Staggs, not against Reece Walsh. Watch the Broncos score 5 tries in 5 minutes now with this fraud alert up. Well, it's not a fraud alert. It doesn't mean confirmed fraud, but fraud watch, fraud alert. It is a fraud alert. But the Warriors are at 13 minutes. Yeah, have some faith right now, Adam Smart. Have some faith in your wars. Have some faith. First tackle, 10 metres away. Barnett. 5 metres away now. Second tackle. The season of upsets, mate. This is another upset. This is another upset to add on to the season. If the Warriors win, Boska! Maratania corre! Maratania corre! Maratania corre! In your face. 18-6 with a kick to come. 18-6 with a kick to come. Boom, boom, boom. 18-6 with a kick to come. 18-6 with a kick to come. Boom, boom. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Warriors will score through Marata Nia Corre, and if they get the conversion, it's a 14-point game. 14-point game. If they get the conversion. Deary me. Deary me. Jack says, hunt us. Oh no. Oh no, Brisbane. Oh boy, oh boy. Toxic Handle says, I just lost $2,900. Why? You bet $2,900 on the Broncos. Broncos going to Cancun with Nico Harrison. Hey, it's a good option. No, it's a very good option right now. 2015 starting to have again. Why is 2015 relatable? What's got to do with 2015? What? Paul says, lay off those mushrooms, mate. Are you crying, are you? You crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying, Paulie boy? You crying, Paulie? Paulie! Don't cry, Paulie. Don't cry. It's okay. It's round 7. Paulie. It's round 7, mate. Come on, Paulie. Adam Smart's up the Wars. Let's hear it, boys, and listen to how happy Blaze is when we score. Secret Wars fan in the making. Well, guess what? You just missed another conversion. Also, secondly, let's have a think about who the Titans' biggest rivals are. But also, thirdly, I like the Wars. I've always liked the Wars. I had a great time in New Zealand last year. But guess what? Metcalf is now 1 from 4. He missed a conversion, so it's a 12-point game. He should have been getting that. Should have been getting that. Hey, Polly. Hey, Polly, see this? Yee-hoo! Yee-hoo! You like that, Polly? All right. So it is still a 12-point game, by the way. The Broncos can still win this game. Because your conversion kicking, Warriors, is actually potentially going to cost you this game if the Broncos can score and convert. It's only a 12-point game now. You know, so as exciting as it may be, and Paulie, I know you're having a great time here, Paulie, but as exciting as it may be, if you can't convert a kick, so now you're going to knock the ball on, and Broncos are going to get the ball here 20 metres away from the line. Time to get Tanner Boyd in. Time to get Tanner Boyd in the team. Robbo says he can't take mushrooms at the moment. He's in church. Exactly right. I'd be too scared taking like hallucinogenics, mate. I've never done hallucinogenics. I'd be too scared that I'd have a bad trip. Excuse says, isn't Pompey a singer or something? Pompeii? I don't know. Alright, so out to the left-hand side. Broncos, you're still in the game because of Luke Metcalf missing 3 conversions. It would have been 24-6 otherwise. Instead, it's 12 points. First tackle for the Broncos, 10 metres away from the line. Corey Pakes goes out to the right, off to Adam Reynolds. Reynolds then to Hetherington, and Hetherington 10 metres away. Second tackle. Second tackle. Jared Choice, what year was it when everything was Milford's fault? 2017, I think it was? Or 2016, 2017? And left-hand side, and Broncos will score a try. Jesse Arthur's on the wing. Your conversion kicking may cost you this game, Warriors. So it is 18-10 with a kick to come to the Broncos. Jesse Arthurs will score. Don't know why Broncos fans talking shit to someone in the crowd just there. You're still down by 8 points here. But, hey, listen. Game back on. Yeah, game back on, man. Game back on. It really shouldn't be Warriors, but you're kicking... This would cost you again. Warriors fraud alert. No. People don't see the Warriors up that top end of the table. People see the Broncos at the top end of the table. But you don't want to get ahead of yourself right now. Broncos are still on fraud alert. Again, to clarify, this is not confirmed fraudsters. Confirmed fraudsters would be Penrith right now. Especially if they lose to the Roosters today. If the Panthers lose to the Roosters today, they're not on fraud alert. They're on confirmed fraudsters. Confirmed. We don't need kicks, mate, just the 4-pointers. Paul, are you a Warriors fan? I don't understand why you're so salty in the chat right now. I don't understand why you're crying like a little salty girl right now. Why don't you just enjoy the game? I don't even know who you support. Now it makes me think that you're like a Warriors fan, but then if you're talking, but then you're crying like a Broncos fan. What are you doing? Why don't you just enjoy the game? Why are you crying? So 18-12, they get the conversion. So, Paul, I feel like you're a Warriors fan right now, so shouldn't you be happy with the team being up right now? No? Anyway, really strange. Paul's an Eels fan. It probably makes sense, Blizzy, because the guy is commenting as if like he's a 6-year-old girl. William says that's how you convert tries, was. Well, 18-12 here to the Warriors with 11:45 to go of the game. Here we go. It's only a 6-point game. It could have been a 12-point game now, but unfortunately it's only 6. So we have got a finish coming up here. If the Broncos win this game, you've still got to question yourselves, though. Robbo says sulking like Hitler in his bunker. Oh my gosh. Alright, second tackle now. Olivia says Paul is on mushrooms. This makes sense, Olivia. This does make sense. Third tackle now. 35 metres away. Billy Walters up to Payne Haas, and then Payne Haas to the 50 on 4 tackle. Lazo says, I got the Roosters winning 13 plus. That's a big call. The Roosters haven't been good this season at all. But they beat the Bronx last week, but then again, this has proven the Bronx are very beatable right now. Roosters beat the Panthers earlier on in the season by 6 points, but 13 plus is a big call. I don't know how to tip that game, mate. I'll be honest with you, that's a really tough game to predict. Every game is a really tough game to predict. Every single game. Every single game right now, especially that game, though. Like, you don't know what Panthers team's going to turn up. You don't know what Roosters team's going to turn up. Panthers haven't won a game since round 1 against the Cronulla Sharks. Like, actually, no, did they win another game at some point? I don't think they have. No, they beat the Sharks. Or did they have a bye? No, they only have won one game. They haven't won a game since, they haven't won a game since they beat the Sharks in round 1 in Vegas. So 10 minutes to go here in the game, guys. Only a 6-point game. Hit that like button and subscribe. There is the potential. There is the potential of an extra time game here if the Broncos can convert a try. Shut up, Andrew. Oh no, Ez Clark, he's complaining about something. Maybe it's a bit of a he's got a cramp right now. He's cramping up, the big fella. Still 10 minutes to go though. So the game is stopped at the moment. Hold on. William says, fun fact, the Panthers are the only team in the comp that haven't won a game in Australia this season. Yeah, no, they're undefeated in the Northern Hemisphere. But they are winless in the Southern Hemisphere. It's just unfortunate for them that the entirety of the season outside of round 1 is in the Southern Hemisphere. But they are going to remain undefeated in the Northern Hemisphere, just like the Raiders. Raiders are also undefeated in the Northern Hemisphere. So Broncos now second tackle here at the 30. Anna Martin says, this might be close. I don't really know who will win, but I did Broncos. Well, there's only 9.5 minutes to go, and it's only a 6-point game, so it might not be, it's not, but it might be close. It is close. There's only 9.5 minutes left, and it's only 6 points. I went the Broncos too, but I think the Warriors deserve this game. I mean, the Warriors definitely deserve it. Like, it's just their kicking that's going to hurt them. Their conversion kicking hurts them. Fifth tackle now for the Broncos at the halfway point. Robert says, Panthers having a full Brisbane line start off. Oh, knock on by the Broncos. Knock on by the Broncos. Ben Hunt, Olivia's favourite player. Ben Hunt will knock the ball onto the 45 of the Warriors side of the field. So the Warriors, they'll get the ball back here in great area. Looking for the game sealer, or maybe retro. Well, they're going to have an opportunity right now. The Warriors, they're 50 meters away from the Broncos line. If they score now, I would say the game's over, even if they miss the kick. But they've really got to have a solid conversation about this conversion kicking, because it's been a problem in New Zealand for 3 years now. Is it still pouring rain in New Zealand? It's hard to see on the camera. I would assume that it's raining. It's definitely still wet regardless, though. Third tackle now at 35. I don't think it's pouring as hard as it was at the beginning of this game. So out to the left-hand side now, Mitchell Barnett at the 25 for tackle. Field goal. Field goal in these conditions, Adam, is a ballsy call because you give away a 7-tackle set. Ballsy call in wet conditions. You don't usually see a great deal of field goals kicked, but maybe you could consider it. It's a consideration for sure. Luke Metcalf will put the ball over into the corner. Good take by Jesse Arthurs. Really solid take there. Fun fact, Luke Brooks has never lost a game at Allegiant Stadium. The Vegas Raiders could use his service. Hey, the Titans have never lost a game at Allegiant Stadium either, mate. To be fair, it's something you've got to mention. And penalty to the Broncos on second tackle. Chris Butler will call a penalty for the Broncos, so they're going to get this ball to about the halfway point. Paul says, if we get a conversion, can we see the church window, please? You know what, Paul? I'll give you that. Yeah, I will. Yeah, you know what? You'll see that. You know what? You can have. If the Warriors kicking conversion, I'm not only going to show you the church window here, I'll show you the 2 church windows at the back. How about that? How about that, mate? How about that? I'll raise you the 1 and I'll give you the 2. But it's a penalty to the Broncos. Tallman says Broncos will lose this game. Well, I wouldn't get ahead of yourself right now. There's 7.5 minutes left. The Broncos will have the ball about the 42 on their own side of the field. They give it off now to Jaden Hunt, who is at the 50. First tackle. But it says Sharks have never lost a game at SoFi Stadium. Titans have actually never lost in America, mate. In any stadium. Every single stadium undefeated, mate. Second tackle here for the Broncos. Titans have actually never lost at the MCG, which is really impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff there. So third tackle, and it'll be Broncos. He'll get the ball to the 45 on the Warriors side of the field. That should be 6 again for mine. Yep, it is. That's 6 again for the Broncos. And now they're at 25. Katoni Staggs, 20 metres out, first tackle. Don't throw it away, you was. Don't throw it away. You do deserve the game, but the Broncos can still tie it up here. 6:50 to go. Adam Reynolds, I don't know what he's doing. That was awful. Gives it off to Paddy Carrigan. There'll be second tackle here, 20 metres away from the line. 20 metres out. Broncos on second tackle. Ben Hunt, he'll go out to the left-hand side to Payne Haas. Payne Haas off to Reece Walsh. Reece Walsh, short play, Xavier Willison. He's 5 metres away from the line. Third tackle for the Bronx. They're down by 6. Gehemaj Shibasaki out the back to Ben Hunt at the 15. He'll get it to Payne Haas. Just run the ball, Payne. That's a big run. 4 metres away from the line. 4 tackle for Payne Haas. Ben Hunt, he'll go to Adam Reynolds. Hits the grass. They'll kick it through. I don't agree with that. No, this isn't a Broncos try, is it? Oh my gosh, they're going to check this. Oh, no way. I think this may be a try. Confirm we have a knockback from the Warriors and then the Broncos get it. This may be a try here, Warriors fans. He's called no try though, Chris Butler. I don't know. So that he kicks this ball through. This would be just awful if it happened. So he drops the ball. All he had to do is catch it and put it down. He tries to throw the ball away. Now who touches this here? And then he goes for the big kick and that's knock. Oh, will they call this a knock on? Will they call this a knock-on for the Broncos, or does he not touch this at all? I don't know. So the Kirk Catewell will go for a big swing and miss with his boot. Oh! Reece Walsh will impact Kirk Catewell here. It's going to be a penalty to the Wars. Yeah, because he holds him back there. Yeah, there's a slight little grab. Okay, they're going to call penalty to the Warriors, I reckon. I think they're going to call penalty to the Warriors. There's a little bit of a grab. Because Jesse Arthurs doesn't touch that. Because if it's either a penalty Warriors or a Broncos try here. Because if Reece Walsh... It's a try. They're going to say that it's fine and Reece Walsh didn't impact him. Or unless they say the back arm of Jesse Arthurs knocks the ball on. Because Reece Walsh puts it down. It might touch the back of the elbow here with Jesse Arthurs. This is really close. He called no try, Chris Butler. Yep, no try. They're going to say touches Jesse Arthurs' right arm, and they are correct. Yeah. So I think this will be no try, and it'll be Warriors ball at 20. Oh! They're going to say knock backwards. Oh, this is a try. Dude, we got there in the end, but they're going to call this a try. I'm interested to, because it touches the back of his arm, but I would say more often than not, they will call that as a knock on. So it's a try here for the Broncos. It's 18-16 with a kick to come. That's controversial considering that the referee called that as a no try originally. I do think that you probably would aim to be calling that as backwards based on the fact that it bounces off his arm here. But I think the Warriors fans have a reason to be pretty annoyed by that. With that being said, you have kind of cost your own game here by missing 3 conversions. Now, you've missed 3 conversions here, Warriors. 1 from 4. They still need to get this conversion here, though. So it's 18-16 with a kick to come to the Broncos to tie the game up at 18-18. There's 5.5 minutes to go here. The conversion is super important. That was a really confusing try to work out. Has there been a game without controversy this year? Well, man. Yeah, sure. Like, the Dolphin Storm game had no controversy yesterday. All right, so Adam Reynolds here. If he kicks this, we'll go into a field goal battle for the last 5 minutes, but also there's a potential chance of us going to an extra time battle. All right, Adam Reynolds, big conversion here. And Adam Reynolds will get the kick. And Warriors, the Broncos are 100% of their conversions with 3 tries. They're at 18 points. The Warriors are 1 from 4 on conversions, and they're at 18 points. You have scored an extra try than the Broncos today, and unfortunately, you are at a tied game with 4:45. You need to find a kicker. Bring Tanner Boyd in as the 7. You have to nearly do it at this point because he can at least kick a ball. He can convert it. The Warriors have had problems for years. 3 years. 3 years minimum in regards to their conversion kicking. If you lose this game today, it is on that sole basis. There's 4:45 to go here. It's 18-18. Hit that like button and subscribe, guys. We've got the Roosters versus the Panthers right after this. We are so close to 30K. We might be able to even get there today. Out of the Broncos now. 4.5 minutes left, and it's going to be the Broncos to get this ball here to the 15. Forward says, we're looking good. I don't know who you're referring to, but this is an interesting game here. Nate J says, honestly, the Wires have robbed themselves poor kicking. I agree, but it's 18-18. It's not like the Broncos have taken the lead. It's 18-18 with 4.5 minutes to go. Told you that friggin' fraudulent sign Blazer superstitious feels are real. Hey, listen, I might have to take it off in a second. I may have to take it off, but at the end of the day, they are still on fraudulent until they win this game. 4 tackle, Ben Hunt off to Hetherington. I'm not a Wars fan, so it doesn't impact me like it does you, Adam. Knock on there from the Broncos. The Warriors will get the ball here at the 48. All right, big knock on there from the Broncos, and they're going to challenge this. You may as well, but with 3 minutes 50 to go. However, I do think this will be an unsuccessful challenge. All right, jump into the comment section here, guys. Let us know. Do you think the Broncos win? Do you think the Warriors win? Let us know in the comment section. And he's just lost the ball. He has just lost the ball there for the Broncos. So it will be Warriors ball here, basically at the 50. Which means the Warriors will be able to put themselves into field goal kicking range. But you also don't want to put yourself in a situation where you give away a 7 tackle set because there will be time for a complete set on a 7 tackle set from the 20. So knock on there from the Broncos. You've got to be careful about taking the field goal because there will be still time. Mitchell says, why not give the kicking duties to Pompey? He can't be any worse than Metcalf. I absolutely would consider that, yeah. Now, obviously, Metcalf, he was 1 from 3 last week. He's 1 from 4 this week. If they lose this game, then you do look towards that and say that's the reason they lost. Because otherwise, it would be 24-18 right now to the Warriors, and you'd be feeling a lot more comfortable than you are right now. But the Warriors with the ball here, first tackle at the halfway point. Hugh says, all night knock on. Yeah, but it's been raining all night, bro. So you've got to understand that there's going to be knock-ons. There's going to be errors in this kind of weather. Apparently, there's like a tropical low or tropical cyclone or whatever in the area. So there's going to be rain. Third tackle here at the 30. Here's the chance for the Warriors. Wade Egan gives it off here to Lika Halasima, who is 18 metres away from the line on 4 tackle. Do you take the 1 now? There's 3:17 to go here of the game. Wade Egan gets it back. Luke Metcalf, field goal. That's going to be charged down. Warriors ball ball still. That's going to be first tackle. 0 tackle at the 20. You get a great attack opportunity here, Warriors, to win the game. You're 20 metres out after the charge down. Second tackle here with the Warriors, 13 metres away. Good charge down from the Bronx. Unlucky the ball bounces directly to the left, and it goes to the Warriors again. All right, third tackle, and you're 10 metres away. I'd pass this back to the 30 and go for it from there. Third tackle here, 10 metres away. Wade Egan gives it off to Mitchell Barnett, who's right there, 5 metres away on fourth tackle. Even if you get the field goal, there'll still be time here for the Broncos, Warriors, so don't go off too early. Wade Egan back to Luke Metcalf, 20 metres out, puts it up. Misses the kick, I think. Oh, he's missed the kick as the seventh tackle set for the Broncos. Oh, bro, you're right there, 20 metres out, and he misses the kick. Warriors fans are cheering, but I don't think they realise he's missed the kick. I don't think that Warriors fans have realised that he has missed the conversion. They're all cheering in the crowd. It stays 18-18, and it's a 7-tackle set here for the Broncos. I don't think the Warriors fans in the stadium know that he missed that kick. Jared Troy says, and unfortunately Metcalf's going to cop a bit of criticism for this game. He's missed 3 of 4 conversions and then missed a field goal directly in front, 20 metres out on third tackle. Like, he's right in front, bro. I'm sorry, Metcalf's got to be doing better in this game. They've left 7 points out on the table. 7 full points, and it's a tied game. All right, so first tackle here with the Broncos, and they're 30 metres out from their own line. It's going to be a tough kick for the Broncos, unless they can make a bit of a line break at some point. It'll be a long way. Might even be a 2-point field goal attempt. Second tackle now for the Broncos at the 35. They give it up to Paddy Carrigan now at the 40 on third tackle. 2 minutes to go here of the game. Still 18-18. Ben Hunt off to Payne Haas, and Payne Haas will be crunched down. Gets the offload away to Reece Walsh. Gets it away to Gehamu Shibasaki. Shibasaki, that's a knock on from the Waz. This is going to be a 7 tackle set here for the Broncos at the halfway point. Yep, this is going to be touched here by the Waz. So it's going to be Broncos ball. 1 minute 40 to go here of the game. The Broncos will get the ball at the halfway point with a fresh set. They will get themselves an opportunity to take the field goal to win it. If he misses it, Adam Reynolds, who I would assume goes to the field goal, but maybe Ben Hunt does, I don't know, but I would assume they go to Adam Reynolds. If he gets the kick, they win it. If he misses the kick, then we're probably going extra time. Broncos here, first tackle. They go to the left, and it's going to be Broncos at the 40. Second tackle now. You're going to start shaping up towards the middle here. In wet weather conditions, field goals aren't easy to make, but Payne Haas, he'll run this ball to the 30. He gets the offload away to Ben Hunt, and Ben Hunt will be taken down at the 33. 1 minute and 4 seconds to go here of the game. Billy Walters goes across now to Paddy Carrigan. They're directly in the middle. They're 25 metres out for tackle. Do they go for it early here? Do they go for it early, or do they wait for the 5th? Ben Hunt off to Payne Haas. They will have to wait for 5th. Okay, Warriors, are they going to try and charge this down? 50 seconds to go here. 5th tackle for the Broncos. They're directly in front. Ben Hunt slips over, passes it off to Staggs, and they're not even going to get a field goal opportunity up. Ben Hunt has just made an absolute mare of a mistake. They couldn't even get the shot off because Ben Hunt slips over at the ruck. And it's going to we're going to be going extra time here. Unless the Warriors can do something now. Adam Pompey at the 22 on his own side of the field. 26 seconds to go here of the game. The Broncos, that was the win right there if they got the kick 25 metres out. But Ben Hunt slipped over at the ruck. 17 seconds to go here of the game. Second tackle for the Warriors. They're at the 30. And it's going to be Leka Halasima at the 40 now. 10 seconds. You just got to kind of throw it around here unless you want to go to extra time. 7 seconds left here. 6, 5. Wade Egan gets it off to Harris Savita. Offloads it. Metcalf. Metcalf gets it across here. Here's a chance for the Warriors. They touch the ball on the wing. It's Edward Kosey. And this is going to be extra time. Is this our first extra time game of the season? No. Is there goal? Have we had golden points so far this season? What was the other teams? But there we go, 18-18. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. We are going through to Golden Point. But throughout the game for the Warriors, you've got to look at and say you've missed 3 conversions plus a field goal from directly in front, 25 metres out. So you've left 7 points out on the table. The Broncos, they just had a chance to win the game, despite the fact they were down by 12 points about 10 minutes ago. But then Ben Hunt slips over at the ruck, and they weren't even able to get a field goal opportunity out. Let me know in the chat right now. Let me know in the comment section. Who wins this game? Do the Warriors find a way to win? Do the Broncos find a way to win? Or is it going to be a draw, the first draw of the season? Oh, Para Dragons was Golden Point, Dads, mate. You are right. So this is the second Golden Point game of the season. Bale says, now we haven't had Golden Point yet. No, the Dragons-Eels game was. Andre says, let's go to Broncos. Leslie says, Warriors going to lose this now. I don't know. Broncos, they just had their own chance and made a mistake too. So who wants this more right now? And are you going to be able to kick a field goal in these wet weather conditions? It is not easy conditions right now. It is not easy conditions. It just says Broncos have the edge here, I reckon. I don't know. This is still a Warriors home game. The Broncos, regardless of this game, the Warriors are going to have question marks in regards to their conversion and in regards to a few things. But the Broncos, even if they win this game, I'm surprised they're even able to win this game from here at this point because the Broncos have not been great today. You know, the Warriors ultimately deserve it based on their play style. It's been their kicking that's held them back. The Broncos have not been fantastic. They just want the 2 points at this moment. So basically, right now, guys, the equation for the Warriors is if the Warriors win this game, they will go to third place and then wait for the Raiders tomorrow if they beat the Titans or lose to the Titans. If the Raiders would beat the Titans, then the Warriors would finish the weekend off in fourth. If the Raiders lose to the Titans, then the Warriors would finish off the weekend in third. But if they lose this game, they can drop all the way to 11th. They can drop all the way down, mate. They can drop all the way down to about probably 9th, 10th, sorry, because they're not going to lose by a big margin. But all right, the first half of Golden Point. Oh my God, Broncos! They kicked the ball out on the full. What the fuck? What are you doing, Reece Walsh? He's just kicked the ball out on the full. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, you don't go for the 2. You can't do it. They're going for the 2. Oh my gosh! If they kick this, the Warriors have got a penalty here on the halfway point. The Warriors have missed 3 of 4 conversions today, and they've chosen to go for the 2 from 50 meters out. Oh my gosh! The Warriors have to kick this ball out. If it doesn't go out, the Broncos will get the ball in their own 10. If he gets the kick, they win. But if he misses it, it has to go out. Otherwise, you've just lost your opportunity. This is a really bold decision here from the Warriors, who are 1 from 4. If he slots this, it's amazing. If Metcalf slots this, I put my hands up and I say this was the boldest call, and I'm impressed he got it. But I cannot believe they've chosen to take the 2 here. Come on, Metcalf. Make up for the game. Make up for the game, bro. Make up for the game here. Get the kick. 18, 3.5 minutes to go here of Golden Point first half. Metcalf puts it up. He's got it! The Wars win 20-18. The Broncos are a massive fraud alert right now. The Warriors, I can't believe Metcalf has just made up for it. He missed 3 conversions today and a field goal from 25 metres out right in front. And the Wars will ultimately end up converting the penalty because Reece Walsh kicked the ball out in the full off of the kickoff of Golden Point. The 1 kick he gets, Robbo. What a wild finish here. If you are a Broncos fan, you got to be like one Ben Hunt slipping over at the ruck there just before the end of regulation. That took away the opportunity from the Broncos. They couldn't even get a field goal opportunity away. And then to get to extra time and then to give a penalty away off of the kickoff is absolutely insanity from the Broncos. That is insanity. You know, I'm happy for Luke Metcalf that he was able to make up for his previous 7 points he left on the table. That is an absolute insane way to lose from the Broncos. That is absolutely insane way. Someone said, hey, watch completed. So the Warriors will win 20-18. They will now go up into 3rd position. They've got to fix their conversion kick and they've got to fix their ultimately still their attack realistically, but they'll take the 2 points very happily because you play the Knights next week, in Christchurch, which you should be pretty confident about, to be fair. The Broncos, you now play the Bulldogs at Suncorp Stadium next week. You have got a lot of proving to do, Broncos. You've got a lot of proving to do. But, you know, what a game here, guys. I got to jump off because we're going to switch across to the Roosters versus the Panthers game, which could be another cracker, to be fair. So obviously hit that like button and subscribe. The Warriors win 20-18, an absolute slap up of a game. Jeez, all over the shop there. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes' time for the next game. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya. Fraud alert, fraud alert. Woo!